Hey guys, it's L Supersonic Q, and welcome to the LSSQCast for Saturday, May 13th, 2017. As always, we record live every week on my channel right here at 7 p.m. EST. And we're actually on time this week, which is good because we've been really shaky with getting everything all up and running on time. But I think we planned pretty well this week, and we're ready to go. So unfortunately, Mario could not join us this week. I believe he's sick, so he's not going to be here. But we still got Pat Mac, so it's going to be the me and Pat Mac show, I guess, for this week. So Pat Mac, what's up? How have things been this week?
See, I'm also sick right now, so I don't know why Mario didn't show up. He must be like super sick or something. But yeah, I guess I'm all right.
Maybe he's working on Bootleg Bomb.
Oh yeah, maybe he's working on his new video coming out tomorrow on his channel. Everybody subscribe to Mario to watch his new video coming out tomorrow.
I mean, I really wish I don't know. I really wish he could get that video out sooner. He needs to post more frequently. Really.
Well, I can't say anything on that.
Oh yeah, your videos take 10 years between uploads. That's right.
Yeah.
The classic. Actually, while I'm thinking about videos and stuff, shout out to the chat. So what we usually do is we go over all our topics and stuff, and then at the towards the end of the stream, we take questions and stuff like that. So if we ignore you at the start, it's just because that's how we run the stream, and we'll directly answer your questions and stuff towards the end. But I like kind of having a consistent, kind of news feed and recent event kind of discussion for the majority of the stream, because we have quite a bit to talk about this week, and a lot of it is really interesting, actually. So hopefully you guys are interested in that. Obviously, some Lost Media stuff. And Pat Mac's going to take the wheel when we talk about the merchandise stuff, because there's quite a bit that happened involving TOMY this week that I wasn't really expecting at all. But Pat Mac was kind of telling me about it. I'm like, whoa, those are some pretty big blows TOMY was taking this week with some stuff that happened. And then Pat Mac was saying that we talked about it last week, but I don't remember talking about E3 predictions at all. And I kind of did have some stuff I wanted to talk about. And E3 is actually a month away, literally 30 days away, because it's June 13th to the 15th. So it's coming up pretty quickly. And I know that we're going to have, or at least me, I have some kind of in-depth thoughts about that. And something cool I heard at GameStop today, actually, in regards to Nintendo at E3. So I think with that said, though, before we really get into the topics and stuff, as always, we usually do a segment right when we start on new videos and upcoming videos and things that you guys can watch out for this week on our channels. So, Pat Mac, anything new coming out this week?
This week, probably not, but I am working on new stuff. I've been working on this super mega long, possibly hour-long video on these two Sonic plush sets that it should be coming out soon. It probably won't come out soon. I hope it comes out soon. But yeah, that's what I'm working on now. And actually, that's not all I'm working on. I have I have 5 videos I'm working on right now that I'm writing scripts for when I feel like it, because I'm just jumping around from video to video depending on my mood. So maybe that will all come to a point where I have 5 scripts done, and then I can just bang out videos over the course of a few weeks. So that'd be cool. It'd be good to not have month-long gaps in between videos like I used to, and possibly still do now. I don't know. But yeah, that's what's going on with me.
So kind of the opposite for me, I guess, where I actually have a lot planned this week, which is more so than normal. So recently, I hit 10,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So I want to do a dedicated 10,000 subscriber video. It's not really going to be a real, it's not going to be I guess a special or anything, but I kind of just want to do a thank you video and stuff and announce some things in that, I think. So that's going to come at the beginning of next week. Towards the middle of next week, I actually did a new sculpture. A lot of you guys probably have no idea that for most of my time on YouTube, probably I'd say a good 80% of my YouTube life, which goes all the way back to 2009, I was doing sculptures like Nintendo and Sonic sculptures, and I have playlists of that stuff on my channel. And really, I stopped doing it, but I've been trying to get back into it, and I just finished a new sculpture last week, so I do want to showcase that in a video. And it does kind of have to tie into Lost Media a little bit. You'll see in the video. So that should be on like midweek, like Wednesday or so, and then on Friday or Thursday or whenever is going to be the mystery video of the week, which I'm still kind of deciding what topic I want to choose. I have a few different things going on right now, and that's kind of how I've been doing videos lately. Is having multiple scripts and stuff going at once. Not so much because it's more convenient where I can, choose whether or not I want to focus on a certain topic for a specific week, but also like when I contact people and stuff, it takes time for them to get back to me. So depending on how things go, will probably determine what topic I choose. Plus, there's still a lot of research I have to do on some of the other topics that I have planned. So there should be 3 videos on next week is pretty much what I'm getting at. And then the podcast, next week as well. So it's going to be probably the week of El Supersonic Q. And I think I will say here too, I think I want to make like Thursday night. I think Thursday night is going to be like the day that the new Mystery of videos go on. I really like the Thursday night upload time. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it like that, where every Thursday night is going to be a new mystery video. But I mean, then again, I'm not sure about Friday because I don't know. Friday's like, oh, weekend day. So I don't know, Thursday or Friday. But like the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, is going to be when the mystery videos really, go on the channel. So if you guys want any kind of scheduling update, well, there it is. So I think with that said, though, enough of this small talk. I think we're gonna jump into the topics. So, Lost Media. That is our first topic, and there's quite a bit to talk about because what I usually like to do is when I make videos and stuff on the mystery ofs and stuff. Usually, it kind of gives you everything you need to know about the mystery and the rundown. It's pretty, I don't want to say generic, but it's very like informative. But then on these streams, I like kind of talking about that more in depth with some theories and different like experiences and stuff that I don't feel would fit very well for the video. So we're going to start with Johnny Quasar, which was actually this week's mystery video, and we will get into me and my friends after, because we didn't talk about that the week that I actually uploaded it. And I do have some other things to say about that. But for right now, Johnny Quasar. So that's kind of, I guess, the newest mystery from me and stuff. And it's actually not really a new mystery. I had been doing Johnny Quasar stuff way back last year. And it just kind of came around now that, I had an off week with the Lost Media because people who I contacted them way too late and they didn't get back to me in time. So I needed something to put in, as the mystery video for the week. And I was freaking out because I'm like, oh, I could like rush this video, or I could like do this video that's not really Lost Media. Like, what am I going to do? But I kind of decided, oh, I did Johnny Quasar such a long time ago and no one's covered it on YouTube yet, which I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I feel like my video really hit well with what needed to be said in regards to the search. So, yeah, I guess, where's I going with this? It was an old search thing that I did a long time ago, and Johnny Quasar is kind of weird because it's not really. It's one of those, I would say it lines up pretty well with like Meso Blues and like that kind of stuff, because it's like, it's a core cartoon that has a lost pilot and stuff, but it's really not as adept as you might think it is. In regards to searching for stuff, because unlike Kappa Mikey, where I had to go through, multiple different people to get information, it was a real goose chase. The thing with Johnny Quasar is that it really wasn't like that, because it was made so early on before any real work had been done on the main series, that anyone who would have worked on the main series early on, like season 1 and stuff, probably wouldn't have seen it or really have known about it. It's really only for like the creators and stuff to have really been exposed to. So that made it really easy trying to search for it because, that leaves like 3 people. And I actually think I did get really lucky contacting who I did, because I tried to find the creator and then one of the directors, I think, or producers or something. And I couldn't find them at all. So I think I got really lucky. And if I didn't get that lucky, then I don't think we'd have any kind of lead on it, because when I made the video, I thought that the SIGGRAPH 95 CD, when I was putting the video together, I thought that there was a fair chance that it could have had Quasar on it, because I had seen, stuff on Lost Media Wiki that said, oh, Johnny Quasar is probably on this disc. But I kind of just disregarded it because it was so rare. The disc was so rare anyway that I'm like, even if we, it wouldn't be worth finding for something that might be on a CD. It was so unconfirmed. But turns out, since making that video, some people have told me that it's pretty much confirmed at this point that, yeah, Quasar was not on any SIGGRAPH 95 material. So really, if I wasn't able to contact the guy that I did, yeah, we'd be pretty much screwed in trying to get the whole thing. And the whole thing actually is only 40 seconds. Contrary to popular belief, everyone thought it was kind of a long, like a real pitch pilot. But no, it was actually just a short test that was showing off graphical capabilities. Because keep in mind, too, when it was made, it was, 1995, computer graphics, SIGGRAPH was for computer graphics and that kind of thing. It was all pretty much new. A lot of it was like really new at the time. If you guys watched the Lightwave 1994 like video reel, a lot of that stuff is really, really early. So yeah, all it was doing was showing off, what could be done, in regards to graphics and stuff. And it was only 40 seconds because, to my knowledge, the Jimmy Neutron creator, John A. Davis, I'm pretty sure he did the whole thing himself as well. I wasn't, because he was just showing it off or whatever. And that's actually when he met the people that he did that got Johnny Quasar into being made into a real show, was through, the demo that he made. So I'm pretty sure he just did it himself, because it wasn't, he wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't really supposed to be a show, actually. Or I mean, I don't exactly know how it was necessarily pitched, but I don't think he was showing it off at SIGGRAPH to be like, hey guys, I hope this can be a show. Someone please contact me and pick this up. That's what happened, but I don't think that's what was intended to happen. I think he was just showing off, hey, look what I can do. Like, I'll do some CGI for, anyone who wants it. But yeah, any thoughts on Johnny Quasar, Patmac?
Well, you kind of said like everything that there is to say on it. So not really, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
See, here's something that I like thought about a few days ago. So the one clip that we've had for forever, essentially, that was on DNA's website, that like 10-second clip, or not even, it's like 7 seconds of Johnny Quasar saying, hi, I'm Johnny Quasar and all that. That's in really bad, like 1995, 1996 video download quality. It looks like, I don't even, it's like really low quality, like 144p quality. And then the other clip that we have from the live, or Lightwave demo reel, yeah, that one from 1995 or 1994. Yeah, 1995. That one's from a VHS, so that's also not in the best quality. So if we found a direct rip of Johnny Quasar, it would maybe not be in HD, but it would be in really good quality. So finding Johnny Quasar wouldn't just be finding the other scenes, it would be finding the scenes we already have in the direct best quality too. So that would be very exciting. On top of, finding it, which would already be exciting.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that when I was searching for it. I'm just thinking like, oh, I want to see what else is in the short or whatever. But that's true. Is we'll really get it in its the best quality that that it could possibly be in and stuff, which is really cool, because I can't think of any examples right off the top of my head, but I know there have been some instances before where certain lost media has been found and stuff, but it's in really bad quality, and people are like, well, can we find this in a better quality? So this would be a great example of it's already in if we find it, it's in the best quality. Like this is like as found as anything can be. And even with the Kappa Mikey pilot, that actually reminded me. The Kappa Mikey pilot and stuff, to my knowledge, from what I've been told, has two different versions actually. There is one version that I guess is on is like VHS quality or whatever, like really not that good. But there is a different version that was on some older websites. I haven't been able to find the websites or any really remnant of the websites that have evidence of the Kappa Mikey pilot being on it. But I've been told that it was once hosted on other sites. But I'm assuming that would have been probably like a direct, like a direct clean copy from the creator or whatever, like the file on his computer and stuff. So even with something like Kappa Mikey, there's technically two different quality of versions. I don't imagine like the VHS quality is going to be that bad. It's probably not going to be as bad as like the Johnny Quasar quality, because that's like 95, like really like early stuff. So Kappa Mikey would have been 2004, so close to 10 years difference. But still, that kind of, once again, two different quality versions and stuff. So the thing with Quasar is that if we found it, it'd be perfect, and like that would be a totally sealed deal in regards to getting it found.
Yeah.
But that also kind of made me think about, speaking of the quality and how we were saying not only would it be good quality, but we'd also see what else is in it. Yeah, we don't even really know what else is in it.
I imagine it's just him in space, just like Johnny flying in space, showing off 360 camera movement and stuff like that. Because it's just an animation test. Like there can't be too much to it.
People have been, I think, because of those screenshots of like him and his parents and him doing other stuff. I think people assume, this is probably where the rumor of it being a full pilot came from, is because they saw those screenshots and like, oh, that must be it must be like a full episode. But yeah, it's probably not. Like what Pamek said. What I'm thinking is that it probably does primarily focus on on different camera angles and stuff in space. If it doesn't, though, and if those pictures are actually from the short, and they're not just random mock-ups or whatever, if they're actually in there, then I would assume it would be the entire 40 seconds would be a really quick, I don't want to say like highlight reel, but like 10 seconds would show him in space. Then there'd be like a random transition to him in his house walking around. Then there'd be for like 10 seconds. Then like a random transition of him in another environment or whatever for like 10 seconds. Like it wouldn't be a cohesive like story, really.
Yeah, and I imagine what we have right now, the clip from the website, that's probably the opening, since he introduces himself then or there. So that's probably the first 7 seconds. And then I guess the clip from the demo reel is maybe immediately after it, or if not, then I guess that does confirm that it's fully in space.
Yeah. Well, the mystery of Johnny Quasar for you right there. Yeah, I guess we covered everything, right? That's
pretty much it.
Yeah,
just watch Super Sonic Q's video on it to find out more.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't even seen the video yet, yeah, definitely check that out. It's a pretty solid video. Yeah, so I'd say that does it for Johnny Quasar. So moving on to another lost media interest, something that got way more popular than I thought it was ever gonna get. Me and my friends. So how about me and my friends, guys?
First off, I think the reason why, what does it have? Like 60,000 views on the mystery of Me and My Friends? Something like that, right?
Yeah, it's really close to like an absurd amount like that.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. There's probably a few reasons. My immediate guess would be people searching for Backyardigans episodes, probably to like show their kids or something, and they find like, oh, look at this video. Let's watch it. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, 60K views on me and my friends. And that happened really. It got like 6K views in the first night or something. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really rapid because I remember thinking like, oh wow, because when I was making the video and stuff, I was having like second thoughts about it anyway because I'm like, or yeah, because it's like, oh, it's like a little kids show. Like, is this really gonna be like?
Oh, it's at 65,000 views now.
Oh man, gee, I didn't know it was that high.
That's more than all of my videos that I've released in the past almost year at this point. Like, one of my videos have never gotten that many views. And this was released 2 weeks ago, and it's a Backyardigans pilot. What the heck?
That
It goes to show how great of a video it was.
Well, I do think it was put together pretty well, and I think I explained the because like, see, this is the thing, is that when I was making it, I was unsure about would it be received well because it's like a little kid's Backyardigans thing. It's not something as classic as like Johnny Bravo, but what I tried to do was really point out, kids lost media is just as an important topic as like cartoon lost media. So maybe just because I presented it well, it got really popular. But I think
didn't you also get comments of people being like, "Oh, I thought this was a creepypasta. What the heck?"
Yeah, so many of the comments.
Maybe it was just recommended on like every single Backyardigans video or something, and people just found it. Or maybe someone posted it somewhere.
Maybe that.
Is there a Backyardigans subreddit? Maybe it was posted there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I did get a comment or something saying, like recently saying like did you check the Backyardigans forums for whatever? And I don't know if like
there were Backyardigans forums.
Well, that's what I didn't actually look into it, but that's what I was questioning. I don't know if they were just saying that because they saw like the 3 Men video and they were just saying like, oh, did you check, like generically speaking, or if there actually are forums and they were asking me, did you check here to see if they have contact to whatever?
Okay. Okay. So I Google Backyardigans Reddit. First result: cartoon theory. Theory is misspelled. Backyardigans is Uniqua real. Fan theories Reddit. And then we have Backyardigans conspiracy theory Reddit. Who is the strongest Backyardigan? Who is it? Who's the strongest Backyardigan? El Supersonic Q.
I mean, if I had to take a guess, I'd probably say Tyrone.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Probably Tyrone.
Maybe this is how it got so popular. Maybe there's like a really like underground like Backyardigan subculture that I was just unaware of.
It must be pretty popular still, maybe. Oh, what if we get a Backyardigans reboot in a few years? What if that happens?
I mean, that'd be
Backyardigans 2020 or something.
That'd be pretty hype, I guess.
Hype? I mean, maybe, I guess.
I never really thought this hard about the Backyard.
Maybe a reboot will have a second like Lost pilot.
Oh, maybe see what they can do. The pilot of the Backyardigans reboot is they're all like older and grown up, but before they could have fully made that into a series, they're like, now we got to keep them as kids. So then,
ooh, I like it. That's a good idea. Maybe the new reboot will be live action, and they'll be like, hey, we totally messed up and went with this bad CGI idea. Let's go back to the idea that we scrapped, and then they'll make that the new show.
That would actually be really like cool. That like everything comes full circle.
It'd probably be pretty bad, but I guess it'd be cool for the principle of it.
It's actually weird. A lot of people were saying too in the comments and stuff that they thought the mascots and stuff were like creepy and scary. Like I didn't think that at all.
I think that just comes with the territory of, costume mascots.
I mean, maybe, but
plus, wait, how are they going to do the entire concept of the Backyardigans with live action mascots? Because isn't the whole point of Backyardigans is to like imagine unbelievable things? So like, how would they do that in real life? It's a show that was kind of needed CGI, didn't it?
I guess it would have been more practical, yeah. But what I can just thinking off the top of my head, like what I imagine they would have done is they would have been like, oh, let's go on a pirate adventure. And they would have done like a fade to white transition.
And then the
they would have
scene
just
would have been different. Yeah.
they would have just changed the set. Yeah, to
Yeah.
like a pirate.
Yeah.
But that would have been like so much effort and work and stuff. So
Yeah.
especially considering the diversity. Like I'm thinking I can't really think of any other like live action kids shows off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure most of them reuse the same kind of like I say Barney because it comes to my head. I'm pretty sure Barney used like the same set in the same like area for like the entire series. So like the Backyardigans to go on different adventures, you'd have to have like at least two different. You'd have to you'd have the main set, but then for every episode you'd have to have a different like a pirate environment or like a desert environment or like an ocean environment or like whatever they were doing. So I can't imagine them wanting to like do that for like every single episode.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of work. They say some people believe in the butterfly effect, right? So imagine that, and the only change is that the Backyardigans was actually Me and My Friends, and it went through with that. Imagine how different the world would be today if that happened. Like the entire society would be different if that happened, if they went through with Me and My Friends.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't really know, like I said, what other like live action stuff had kids shows had come out in the 2000s. But maybe if the Backyardigans went with Me and My Friends and it had become a full series, and maybe if it did get popular, maybe that would have influenced other kinds of children's like stuff. Like, yeah, man, that's pretty deep.
Wow, could have changed history. Wow, that's crazy. That was a pretty solid discussion on the Backyardigans.
It was more than I thought we were going to say, and we didn't even talk about what I wanted to talk about. I actually wanted to make a point of kind of the pilot itself and how lost it is and stuff. So, kind of contrary to Johnny Quasar, how easy that was to contact people that created it. Yeah, Me and My Friends, not so much. The issue with that is that the thing with Johnny Quasar and Jimmy Neutron is that it was. I'm trying to think about how to exactly say this. It was pitched to Nickelodeon essentially. It wasn't really like. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think how to like word this correctly. Like Jimmy Neutron is a Nicktoons thing, and it's Nickelodeon's Jimmy Neutron, but DNA Productions made it and stuff, and it was pitched to Nickelodeon. The thing with Me and My Friends is that the creator of Me and My Friends, Janice Burgess, at the time she was the vice president for Nick Jr. So I believe that the pilot was kind of like it was like an in-house thing. It was like an in-house pitch. So, aside from the fact that you can't even find her now, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, how could you not find Janice's contact information or whatever?" Like a lot of different people and other people have said they're going to search for it and all this stuff. I looked in a lot of different spots and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I think, like I said, that's because she used to be vice president of Nick Jr. Those kinds of people don't just have email addresses lying around and stuff. There were some actual accounts that I believe were hers, a Twitter and a Facebook, I think. But the thing is, she hasn't posted since like 2013. And as of this recording, she never got back to the people that messaged her and stuff, and she probably won't. So it's really hard to get in contact with people like that. So it won't be found very easily. And like I said in the video too, even if she does have it and stuff, being the former vice president of Nick Jr., and even with the Backyardigans still being owned by Viacom and Nickelodeon, are they actually going to release that? I mean, people were kind of making a comparison to Crybaby Lane. I don't know much.
Whoa, Me and My Friends compared to Crybaby Lane.
Okay, wait. I should have clarified that. Well, maybe some people actually did compare it in terms of scare factor, but I meant in terms of release. People were saying that the Crybaby Lane to get re-released or whatever, and everyone, quote unquote, everyone emailed Nickelodeon about it, and they released it. So people were saying maybe we can just mass email Nickelodeon about me and my friends, and they release that. But I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know.
What platform would they release it on? Because it's not like we have a The Splat for Nick Jr.
Well, actually, maybe you can kind of inform me about Crybaby Lane, because that was way before I was into Lost Media. I know nothing about that. So what exactly?
Okay, so Crybaby Lane was this Nickelodeon original movie that was made in the 90s, I think. Right? Yeah. And they aired it once, and then it was never aired again. And I guess many years later, like late 2000s, maybe early 2010s, someone was like, hey, I remember Crybaby Lane, and creepypastas are a thing now. I'm going to write a... No. No. The creepypasta for Crybaby Lane came after the search had started, I believe. So someone just brought up Crybaby Lane, I guess, and then it caught, like, you know, people's attentions, and they were like, hey, we should find this. And then eventually a creepypasta about it came out, and that, like, made it really popular. And then people started, like, emailing Nickelodeon, contacting people, like, what the heck? Where did this go? And a lot of people suspected that it was banned. Turned out that didn't happen. They just aired it once and then was like, hey, this is kind of bad. Let's not air it ever again. And that's what they did. But then eventually, because of all the outcry for it, outcry Baby Lane for it, they released it. And that's it. It's really not that interesting. The movie, I haven't watched it, but I don't think it's that great. I haven't, or from what I've heard, it isn't that great. But yeah, that's what happened with that. So it was really just it was an, like, overblown, like, it didn't warrant the search that it got, because it was really big when it was still lost. Like, it was a huge topic.
Would you say it was?
Maybe that was like A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants before A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants.
I was going to say, was that comparable to A Day with SpongeBob?
Yeah, I'd say it was, because both of them didn't really warrant the search they got. Well, at least Crybaby Lane actually existed, though. And they weren't like, hey, we're going to make this through crowdfunding, and then they never do it. We're coming up to the 1 year mark of that happening, and right? Didn't the guy behind it say, like, oh, we're gonna do a Kickstarter for A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants, and then they never did it, and that was back in, like, June was when they were gonna do it, June 2016, and then it never happened.
Was it actually June?
Yeah, I remember that because
September.
No, I don't think so, because I remember it was being, like, at the beginning of summer 2016, because the search happened in 2015. Like, it's been 2 years almost. Summer 2015 is when it really caught on, and then it went through into 2016, and that's where it kind of, like, fizzed out. But then I know that's when you got, like, really involved with it. And I don't really know what happened. It just whoever made it came out and said, hey, we're gonna make it on Kickstarter, and then it was June, or like May, I think May was when they announced it, and then June is when the Kickstarter was supposed to start, and then it never did. So, oh well.
Huh? Actually, yeah. Now that you mentioned, I think, because I remember, it was like March to April 2016. Yeah, that's when the search was over. We got in contact with Lorenzo Hawley, Mr. Orange, after like a year or whatever. Yeah, and then he did say it was going to come out May, June, and then that didn't happen. And then we're like, okay, then maybe the thing was because I a lot of it is kind of foggy, but yeah, I think we were saying in our Day with SpongeBob group, we were saying, okay, we'll give Mr. Orange until like the end of summer to ask about it again. And then we did ask him about it at the end of summer, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do one in September actually, and then that didn't actually happen. I think that's what it was. I think he postponed it a few times. Day with SpongeBob is not happening.
I wonder what he's up to now, Mr. Orange. Like, what's he doing right now? Maybe he's listening to the stream.
Actually, I remember you pointed this out, Pat Mac, way back when. I think this is when Ongoing Mysteries was still a thing, and they had, good stories with Ongoing Mysteries. But when they had the video up with Mr. Orange's like audio or whatever I forget what they did. I remember Mr. Orange actually watched my A Day with SpongeBob video, and he made a comment or something like that. He's like, didn't Supersonic say something like it was never made or something? It was blah blah blah. But like, I remember you pointed out that he mentioned me in that video.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, so maybe he's been following me ever since, and now he's watching the stream. So that honestly, Could be a possibility, guys. Mr. Orange could be watching the stream, but
It could be. Someone in the chat right now could be Mr. Orange. You don't know.
but actually, now I'm thinking about a David SpongeBob. We're getting like all the way kind of off track. The thing with yeah, the thing with me and my friends though, with Crybaby Lane, because I didn't know exactly how Crybaby Lane was found or whatever. And Pat Mac was saying that people just contacted Nickelodeon and it released. People were saying that you could just mass contact Nickelodeon and they'll release me and my friends. The difference here is that Crybaby Lane was, I want to say, like a one of one, like, or like a one-off movie. It was just Nickelodeon based, Nickelodeon movies, whatever, and like that seems like something that they wouldn't have had a problem releasing because it's not a property they're going to like do anything with. The thing with me and my friends and why that's different is that sure, people could mass contact Nickelodeon, but Me and My Friends is a franchise. It has merchandise. Or Backyardigans. It's it went for years. It's still really popular.
Yeah.
It's not.
And well, it's not something that they would want to get out there probably. And that's the reason why a lot of Lost Media stays Lost Media. Like with Kappa Mikey, I know it's not the biggest show, but to keep the brand, the lucrative brand of Kappa Mikey clean, maybe they don't want the pilot to be out there because maybe it has some stuff that they don't want to be seen. Because it's an adult version of a kid's show. So to have that out in the public probably isn't something that they want to happen.
Yeah, that would definitely, like, I would say it would damage brand recognition to some extent. Especially
no one's doing anything with Kappa Mikey anymore, but...
Oh, okay, true, yeah. Isn't that a shame?
Yeah. Oh, well.
But yeah, so I don't think we're going to see a Me and My Friends release. Like, the only way I think we would see it is if either someone who like worked on it had a copy and just put it out there for no reason, or if someone was able to contact Janice Burgess if she did have a copy and then say she like uploaded it unlisted or something on YouTube, or if she had like a website, she could put it on the website and say like, this is the early version of the Backyardigans. But like
well actually maybe Backyardigans isn't really a thing anymore. They don't make new episodes anymore. But if they did, maybe for an anniversary special, they could release it. Because I remember way back in the day with the Blues Clues, they had this, I think it was called the Behind the Clues special, maybe? I don't know what it was called, but it was released in like 2006, maybe. But it was this special for Blues Clues, and it featured content from an earlier version of the show. Oh, I forget what it was called, but it featured like a
Blueprints?
cat, maybe? Yeah, maybe. That might be it. But yeah, they showed at least some footage of it. And maybe that was my first Lost Media like thing that interested me, because I remember being like, hey, what the heck? What was that? Because they only showed like a few seconds of it, and that was it. They really like glanced over it. So I think for a Backyardigans, 15th anniversary special coming up soon, coming 2019, maybe they'll do something. Maybe they'll be like, hey, fans of Backyardigans in 2019, here's the early version or something.
That actually would be a good way of doing it, actually. Now that
an official release is still on the table. That might happen, I think.
I guess I'd just be surprised if it happened, because it's so like obscure and like old, and like I don't think like Nickelodeon even knows that like there's any interest in.
I don't think they know that there's any interest. Yeah, any interest in Backyardigans as a whole.
I guess you can say that with most things, though. Like even Johnny Quasar, I think you pointed this out when we were talking about it at some point, like earlier in the week, that like the creator and stuff like that, like they don't know that people care about a 40-second.
Yeah. Like, because when you contacted the creator of Kappa Mikey, wasn't he like? He was like, what? There's someone who. Wait. Yeah, okay. There was the creator of Kappa Mikey. He was like, what the heck? Someone wants the early version of Kappa Mikey, that show that only lasted 2 seasons and no one liked? What? Why? They probably would be really surprised if someone went up to them and was like, hey, you remember that early version of the Backyardigans where all of the characters it was live action and you had costumes and stuff? Hey, can you release that? Like, that probably comes as a surprise to a lot of people. Or a lot of creators.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there have been any examples so far where or at least with me. Well, I'm trying to think maybe the Electric Piper. I don't exactly know how. Oh, actually, or hold up. Okay, the Electric Piper was. Yeah, I think that was actually leaked from someone who had a copy who worked on it. That wasn't an official Nickelodeon thing. But I'm just thinking that I'm sure the Electric Piper was a surprise because I'm pretty sure people did contact Nickelodeon stuff about it, and I actually think someone. I mean, I really don't remember what it was. I could have swore that someone with Nickelodeon connections or who worked at Nickelodeon had it, and they were surprised that people wanted it, but they said they weren't going to release it because of legal issues. So yeah, I mean that's yeah. I guarantee you, there's so much Nickelodeon stuff that like they don't even know anyone cares about that like that they could release. I guess.
Well, wasn't that the case with Kablam? Because the guy released it eventually. He probably just didn't know.
Oh, that's
that
right.
So many
Yeah,
people wanted it.
He released the whole series on his website. Yeah, Mark Merrick. So that had to have been a direct case of like, oh wow, people actually care about Kablam because yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think about how many. How many? Well, because Kablam has never had a DVD release or anything like that. I'm trying to think about when it really like gained its newfound popularity. I mean, I don't know. That fan site that I guess had the famed episode 29 quote where Mark Merrick debunked it or whatever. I think that site had been going for a really long time, but I don't really know how popular it was. The point being, yeah, I can't imagine like. For a really long time, Kablam must not have been popular. And then when it regained popularity and stuff, Mark Merrick had no idea it regained popularity. So then once he found out that it did, with episode 29 and Kafun and Just Chillin' and all that stuff, he's probably like, oh man, like, let's release these on my website because Nickelodeon sure isn't going to do it or whatever. And actually, yeah, he did release all of them. I doubt it had anything to do with it.
No, continue.
I was going to say, I doubt it had anything to do with Nickelodeon. He just put them all up.
Like, how is there no copyright issue with that? Like, wouldn't Nickelodeon be like, hey, a full series on a website for free download? Don't do that. Like, how'd that happen?
I've heard a lot of different things with Kablam's licensing. A lot of contradictory things because I've heard stuff that like there was no DVD release because some of the shorts.
All the shorts belong to different people, I believe. They were all made by different studios. And
the thing is, some of those studios don't exist anymore, so the copyright is like up in the air, and you can't really do anything with it. So, I mean, that was one of the rumors. But then again, Mark Merrick does it, and like I've heard that Nickelodeon owns the Henry and June segments. So if anything, they could have gotten Mark Merrick on that, but they didn't. So I really don't know what's up with.
Hey, so how come for the Splat, that block on Teen Nick, how come they don't have Henry and June introduce each show? And be like, up next is like, I don't know, Cat Dog. Like, why don't they do that?
That would actually be wouldn't that
be perfect? Yeah, like I want Henry to say like, "Hey, and up next is Rocket Power." Like, wouldn't that be great?
That would be really. Oh man, yeah. Why don't they do that, man? That is so cool. Especially since
because if they own the characters, like, hey, do that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easy enough to do as well, and it would be like.
Oh, don't they have that? Who's that popsicle stick guy? Don't they have him?
Oh, what, does he announce stuff?
I think so, or at least he did that once, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he was the announcer for the 90s. The 90s are all that. Maybe he did that. I don't know. But yeah, they could have done that with Henry and June.
I'm pretty sure Mark Merrick is still in the animation business and stuff. I'm sure they could have said like, hey, draw, or they didn't even have to draw new stuff. They could probably have edited old clips of them.
That would have made it look like it's from the 90s, which is what it's the feel they're going for. So that would have been perfect.
Yeah,
they would have been easy to do.
Like dubbed or they could have got like voice actor replacements or whatever. I'm sure there are people out there that sound really close to what they originally sounded like. And so, I mean, they could have done it. Yeah, that would have been really, really cool. Because Kablam is such an underrated thing anyway. I remember when they announced the Nickelodeon Funko Pops and stuff, and we're like, Henry and June, they're gonna have a Henry and June, and like they didn't, obviously, but like that would have been so cool if they did.
Or Jazzwares for their Nicktoons line. They could have made Jazzwares Henry and June figures.
That would have been like way too cool. That would have been too cool.
Yeah. Oh well.
Huh. So, I guess I was kind of. I think we're gonna kind of wrap up this Backyardigans thing.
Yeah, that was a long topic. We spent like 30 minutes on that. That was good though. I like that. We usually don't have like ongoing discussions like that. We should have more of those.
Yeah, it would make the podcast a little smoother. So, that was good. But I guess point being, just contacting Nickelodeon, like massively contacting them, isn't going to necessarily work like Crybaby Lane. Janice Burgess is notoriously.
It might.
It could.
You don't know. We can get a hashtag. We can get the hashtag going.
Oh,
for
dude,
me and my
want
friends.
Hashtag?
No. You could. I'm just saying you could. That doesn't mean you like should.
Oh, I think we're gonna try it, guys. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, guys.
I'm gonna mute my mic and let you do this.
Tag what Nickelodeon, Viacom, Janice Burgess, I guess if you can find her Twitter, whatever. Tag it and be like, release hashtag me and my friends. That's the hashtag, me and my friends. So there you go. Tag everyone in that. And,
yeah, and
maybe
L Supersonic Q will retweet every post with hashtag me and my friends in it, released after this podcast.
I mean, not gonna lie here. If enough people did it and it caught on, I mean,
well,
there's some.
Isn't that's what happened with Dexter's rude removal, right? Because I think Rebel Taxi made a hashtag.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's what happened, and that's how it was found.
Oh well, there you go.
They tweeted that Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, both of them, and it happened.
Wow, I was not aware of that. It happened that way.
We have 84 people watching, 85 now. We can make 85 posts at least about it. I'd be a-okay with that.
Yeah, guys, if you want to see me and my friends get found, we could do this. Just tag Nickelodeon and Viacom, and if you can find Janice Burgess or whatever, hashtag me and my friends, and just say release it, and maybe
make sure you send L Supersonic Q's video along with it. By the way.
Oh, that yeah, that too. Maybe we can get it to like 100K views if you do that.
1 million views on.
Yeah, more than Teenage Gary. Wouldn't that be? Honestly, I'd be fine with that. If me and my friends got more than Teenage Gary, like I would be fine with that. Like I don't want to be one of those people that like says, "Oh, like this video got so popular, man. Stop commenting, stop watching my video," because I don't want to be that guy. But I'm also not gonna lie. There is no way.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Someone in the chat just said hashtag find the friends. That's pretty good.
Oh, that works too. Okay, that works too. As long as they know what you're talking about, then do that. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. I was actually. Yeah, find the friends works too. Whatever. Me and my friends find the friends. As long as they know what you guys are talking about, then like that, then it works. So we'll go with find the friends. Delete all your old tweets about hashtag me and my friends. Find the friends. Hashtag find the friends at Nickelodeon at Viacom. Everyone do it. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh yeah, like, oh, I'm so mad this video got attention, but there was no reason why Teenage Gary got so many views. Like, it's my most.
How many views does it have?
Like 250,000 or something. Like, there was no reason why that. It's a stupid. Like lost scene.
It's not even like an actual lost thing, right? It's been proven that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was proven to be
outdated. And the thing is, it had like 50,000 views like a few months ago, and then it caught on after it was proven to not exist.
Yeah, that's oh my gosh, yeah, that's maybe if it caught on before that, it would have been fine. But like, it literally, yeah, like 150,000 views of its life were after it was already debunked as being fake. And I still get comments and arguments with it definitely exists and all this crazy stuff. And like,
is this worth discussion? Is it? I don't know.
Why does this matter? But just okay. I guess the why does this matter stuff is just people who aren't in tune to lost media. I guess I can understand that. But the thing that I don't understand is the pinned comment is me saying, guys, this was debunked. Here's proof. And like, people just don't believe it. Like, they just want to believe their own thing. And like, I guess that's fine, but like, I don't know, how could you argue with proof? Like, that's like if when Kablam episode 29 was debunked, that's like if someone was saying, well, no, Henry and June did kiss. It happened. And like that, like no, like that didn't happen. Like, I don't know how you can, how you can say that like something happened when there's proof that it didn't. But I mean, whatever. That's an old story. One last thing before we move on to some other stuff. A Day with SpongeBob. I actually want to kind of say this because we were mentioning it. There definitely will be A Day with SpongeBob, because I was part of the A Day with SpongeBob search before it even became a search. Back, oh man, I'm trying to think about when I did this. It had to be, it had to be a few months ago, I guess, maybe sometime last year. I went on the old Lost Media Wiki, which is the Lost Media Archive, which is a really bad site. Don't go on it, but I needed to go on it for information. I went through all the comments, and I tried to find the earliest comment I posted about A Day with SpongeBob, and it was like late March 2015. So that was like when I had found out about it and was interested in it, and I stuck with that stupid search. Okay, not stupid. It was a good search. I had fun. It was a good time. I did that until June or something, 2016, right? Yeah, like March 2015, June 2016. It was like more than a year. Point being, in June, because I wasn't aware that June was the kickstart day and everything for A Day with SpongeBob when that was supposed to happen, whatever. When it came to an end, I want to do at some point A Day with SpongeBob memory stream with me and some other guys I worked with who helped search for it for more than a year and stuff. So that's coming in June. That stream's going to come in June. We're just going to talk about different parts of A Day with SpongeBob. You guys are going to get the first-hand scoop from the people that searched for it for way longer than they should have and stuff. But I do want to point that out because it's going to be a great stream, and I've been kind of lightly thinking about different things to talk about and how it's going to be run and stuff. But that's going to be really fun because I really, as stupid as A Day with SpongeBob was, and as dumb as it is to think that we searched for a year, more than a year, and it was literally nothing. It was a really, really good search, and I think if I hadn't been so involved in that, arguably I wouldn't have gone into lost media to the extent that I did, because I was just so connected to A Day with SpongeBob that I was just like, naturally I was on the Lost Media Wiki, and as I was doing A Day with SpongeBob, I think while that was happening, I was doing Kablam episode 29, and I think there was some other search I was doing too at the same time. So I was juggling those three different searches, and had A Day with SpongeBob not been so strong, maybe I would have dropped Lost Media. So yeah. But wow. I guess with
Well, wait, I kind of zoned out for a bit. Didn't you? So you said that there will be A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants released eventually, right? Like that's going to happen? Did you say that? Oh, no. You didn't? Oh, dang.
No, well, that's dead.
Okay, yeah.
Because the last we heard, I haven't asked anyone about it recently, but the last thing I heard, which was a few months ago, I'm trying to remember. I think Mr. Orange actually said, don't quote me on this, I might be misremembering or whatever. But I'm pretty sure he said something like, it's not a priority for him anymore, and if he ever gets around to it,
oh man,
he might. But I mean, back when he first said he was going to do a Kickstarter, if it was a priority for him then and it didn't get a Kickstarter, now that it's not a priority, I mean, what does that say about it? I don't expect it to ever come out. I don't think it's ever going to come out. And plus, think about this too. Back when it was first going to be Kickstarted and stuff, when it was fresh, I think a lot of people first off, a lot of people didn't care that, they're like, oh, okay, it didn't exist, I'm out. But I do think that a lot of people still would have donated to the Kickstarter and stuff like that. Probably myself included. I definitely would have done it because it would have
probably would have gotten like at least $5.
Yeah,
something with that.
But the thing is, now that so long has passed, and even myself included, I'm kind of I like looking back on a day with SpongeBob and stuff. But like in terms of like hunting for new stuff or trying to talk to people, like I'm over it. So if he kickstarted it now, I'd kind of have to second guess. Like, am I going to drop money in this? Like, do I even care anymore? Like, not really.
Well, yeah, of course, they waited way too long, and everyone's already burned by the fact that, wow, we spent like a year searching for this, and it doesn't even exist. Like, everyone's already mad about that, and it's been a year since that happened, so no one cares anymore. You only have some like startup lost media channel still making videos on it, and that's about it.
Yeah, that was a really good way to put it. Yeah, it's like Lost Media Beginner's Guide 101, A Day with SpongeBob. That's like the first video you gotta make if you're gonna do.
It's like the lost media content creator starter pack, and A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is always there.
Yeah.
Lost Media Mysteries, Episode 1, A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, I think there will come a point where someone will need to do a fresh video on it talking about, like, I don't know, like 5 years from now, someone will need to do a fresh video talking about it. But like, yeah, I mean, as for now, I think it's pretty well documented and covered and stuff. I still wish, like, top 3 biggest channel regrets. Like I said, back in like March 2015, I had done the Kablam video, and I thought about doing a Day with SpongeBob video, like before it blew up. I thought about it. But obviously my channel wasn't really Lost Media then. I had just done Kablam, and it did okay. And I'm like, man, A Day with SpongeBob is so much stranger. Like, am I really going to put this on my channel? Nah. And I didn't. And then like it blew up and everyone made videos, and like there were like really popular videos that had to do with it. I'm just like, like how things would have been different if I made that video way back, when I was thinking about doing it.
Well, it's SpongeBob and it's lost and it's creepy. Ooh, so like it was obvious that it was going to blow up, I think. So dang.
It seems like SpongeBob's, maybe that's why Teenage Garrett did blow up, is because it is SpongeBob, and like that. I don't know. I guess just because it's SpongeBob, I never really thought any particular SpongeBob topic was just like guaranteed to blow up because it's SpongeBob. But I guess with the connotation of spooky stuff in SpongeBob, I mean, I guess that mixes pretty well for for a Lost Media interest. Even if something isn't supposed to be scary, it's still, we'll get clicks if you clickbait the right thumbnail, guys. Then anything Lost Media can be scary. I still can't get over that. I still get, and this is maybe why I kept. Maybe this is why me and my friends blew up. How you said like mascots and stuff is creepy or whatever, Pat Mac. People when they clicked on the video and when they leave comments, they always say, I clicked on this because I thought it was a creepypasta or whatever. And it's like, what leads you to believe it's a creepypasta? And I think it's just because Lost Media has that creepypasta connotation to it now that, oh, me and my friends, creepy mascots, is that about murders or something? Like, what's that? Banned episode? Like, that's probably what people think about when they see it, and that's probably why they click on it and why it got so many views. So that's I mean, there you go. I guess mystery solved. But yeah, I really, as a Lost Media,
well, you gotta admit, the picture is kind of a bit spooky. The picture of all of them, they kind of look a bit unsettling.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I was actually gonna say that exact same word. Yeah, unsettling. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I just tweeted out about this, and I posted a picture of Pablo, of the the picture of the mascot of Pablo, and someone just posted, "I'm scared." So I guess it's a bit creepy.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I still don't think it is, but at the same time, as a content creator and Lost Media contributor and stuff, it still really bothers me, and it will bother me until the day Lost Media falls out of the mainstream light. It bothers me that people like that there is a scary connotation with Lost Media, because in my opinion, most Lost Media, like 90% of Lost Media, is not scary. Yes, there is some scary Lost Media.
Oh man, I'm so scared of Captain Carlos. Oh no.
Yeah, like see, and this is the thing too. And I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. Okay, if someone who really didn't know a lot about Lost Media, except for the fact that it's like scary or creepypasta, if they saw something about lost Captain Carlos, oh, it's a kids show, I guarantee you their first thought would be there must have been a banned episode because something like bad happened in one of the episodes, or that's just what I imagine someone was thinking. Banned episode because Captain Carlos like swore or something, like just something like totally absurd. But like that's what people think, and I just think that's so stupid because there's so much lost media that isn't scary. Like I'm trying to they're like there's like two things off the top of my head right now I can think about that is actually kind of unsettling and spooky and like scary. But A Day with SpongeBob, well, okay, maybe I could give that a pass because people thought that was scary. But stuff like, I'm trying to think about Mean Girls DS. It's not scary, guys. It's really not. So,
have I ever told my epic Mean Girls DS story on stream before?
I don't think you have. You got to tell that.
Oh, okay. All right. So back in summer of 2015, maybe 2016, I was like, oh, Mean Girls DS is a lost DS game. I'm going to look it up. So I did that. And then I found this, it was an international website, maybe Spanish. I think it was in Spanish. And it was like a product page. So they had like screenshots from the game. And I was like, oh, screenshots from this lost DS game that no one knows about. Oh man, that's kind of cool. But I thought nothing of it. I linked it to one of my friends and they were like, dude, post about that. Like that you found part of lost media. And I was like, whatever, no, that'd be dumb. So I didn't. And then like a few weeks later, Rebel Taxi posts about them and he's like, hey, look what I found about Mean Girls DS. And like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Sure. Like, yeah, he did, whatever. But and then later people like credited, of course they credit because they were supposed to, but they credited Rebel Taxi for finding them and be like, oh, he found these screenshots. Yes, he did it. And like, it's totally my fault for not posting about them. And I could have done that. And then these big lost media channels could have been like, and Pat Mac found Mean Girls DS. I could have been the one, guys. I could have been the one. So that's my Mean Girls DS story.
So instead of getting credited for Mean Girls DS, you got credited for Jimmy in Sonic Lost World. That was.
I'll take that. Honestly, I'd be okay with that. Well, actually, the ironic thing about that is blame it on Jorge or blame it on George. That guy, he made a video on I think it was updated Lost Media stuff, #1. And he mentioned Mean Girls DS, and he mentioned, oh, Rebel Taxi found these screenshots. And I was like, dang, that could have been me. But then later on in the video, he shows a tweet of someone saying that they watched A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants because that was another one of the updated ones. And the tweet had my icon on it because I liked the tweet. So I was still in the video, guys. It's okay. I was still there.
Good story.
Like, what the heck?
Man, good times.
I've always wanted to get into the Lost Media community, but it's just never happened. And I guess that could have been my entry point, but oh well, maybe at this point I'll just stay on the sidelines until something, maybe if like a future big topic happens. I don't know, maybe I'll join it, but maybe my time has passed.
I think that's the thing too, is that, or I know we've talked about this before with Lost Media, is that like it really does get super duper popular, like Crybaby Lane and A Day with SpongeBob, and then it just nothing happens for a really long time.
Yeah, like we have those big topics, and then we have like Phineas and Ferb spot the diff, or like I don't know. Yeah, it's always like really small things, and then something big happens, and like everyone comes to the forums, and everyone talks about it, and then it gets found, and then nothing.
I think when it comes to getting into Lost Media, though, you could kind of do it two ways. I guess kind of the way that I, like I said, really got into it was because I was part of A Day with SpongeBob, and I played such a lead role in that, and I had such a fun time doing that it stuck me there. So I guess technically speaking, you could wait for like a big topic to roll around and then just play a part in it, and then stick that way. But I guess at the same time, what you could do as well. I guess this could count for really anybody, not just PatMac, but you could start small, kind of with something along the lines of like Mean Girls DS or whatever, and just like
Or a day with SpongeBob
Um,
SquarePants. That's a good way to start off. Make a video about a day with SpongeBob SquarePants.
I don't think we need any more Day with SpongeBob videos on YouTube for the next 5 years. But um, you could search for something smaller or something that isn't necessarily popular, and then if you
Well,
find
that's what
results
you
or
did. That's exactly what you did
with what?
with Kappa Mikey and stuff like that. You
Oh
you you always
yeah,
go for the lesser known stuff.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's I guess with me. Um, yeah, I guess though I was still pulled in with a day with SpongeBob, but I prefer to focus on the obscure stuff in general, which most cartoon stuff isn't really even covered anyway. When it comes to content and topics, but for someone who wants to get into lost media, yeah, you could just start small with something like that, and then just build your way up to bigger topics, or just I think I guess what I'm saying is that there are ways I think that for anyone who wants to be a part of the community to go into the community. And I do think a big part of it is just finding something you're interested in, and kind of just like going with it. Because a lot of times too, what I found out, like when I went to the forums, and I mean this was after I had already had a name for myself there, but I made a thread that I wasn't sure how good it was going to get. It was on the Mario RPG plushes, and we all know that physical media isn't really perceived very well on the Lost Media Wiki. So when I made a thread about it, I'm like, are people going to like be into this, or are they going to say like, don't post that here? And it actually gained quite a decent like following from that, even from people I didn't even talk to before. So
Well,
I
it's
think
still
it just comes.
interesting. Like that's the thing with those. I mean, like with any, I guess if physical media was lost media, then people would be like, "Hey, help me find this lost Mickey Mouse yo-yo" or something like that. It'd be like really like basic stuff. But with like Mario RPG plushes, that's like a pretty interesting topic. So I guess that's why it fit in.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying, I guess the point of what I'm saying is that really anyone could jump into lost media at any time. Just um, find something that's interesting or be a part of something that you find interesting. And I almost want to say to some extent, like be original with it, whether that be not even, I guess, because
Yeah.
we're talking
Or
about just
maybe
getting into.
I mean, I can't really speak for this because I don't make lost media videos, but maybe sprinkle in do original stuff and then do like a hard-hitting popular topic just so people find it. Cuz like if you just did Kappa Mikey, you'll get like 100 views. Like maybe like 2 people will search Kappa Mikey. So you need to do like, Kablam or A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants, and people will find you. And then you can do the lesser known original stuff, and that will get people to be engaged because they'll be like, hey, this is interesting. This guy does, underground topics. That's cool. He goes out of his way to find things. That's neat. If you just do like, the name brand lost media stuff, like, yeah, that's interesting if your videos are good enough, but that's not really going to hold people's attention.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I meant on the lost media site in general,
No.
just well, just like to contribute as well. But
And I
that
guess that actually just going onto my videos for a bit, that's kind of like that's what I'm gonna start kind of doing. I don't know if you could really say I'm doing that yet. I guess that's kind of what I'm doing with my videos because I make videos on older things. Usually right now, since I'm still kind of like, I haven't covered all the big things. I'm still doing the bigger things, but eventually I'm going to be doing the lesser known, obscure sets of merchandise. But then I also have reviews where I review the new, current, popular things. So I kind of do the same thing, but in another genre. So that maybe that's just a good philosophy to like follow with any YouTube series.
yeah, I would say so because now I'm thinking about how you said the thing about the Kappa Mikey video. Yeah, if I started with the Kappa Mikey video, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. But I had the stupid dumb teenage Gary
Yeah,
thing, and that blew up.
you can thank Teenage Gary for that.
I guess I'll have to because yeah, I think no, no, I don't think I know that is what propelled my channel into like where it is right now, and that's why people started finding the other videos and stuff was because that got popular. But maybe that gets into like the ethics of YouTube, getting lucky with things and all the kinds of philosophy. So maybe it's a little beyond what I really care to talk about right now. I could go back to the RPG plushes for a second though, just because we have talked about this before. I think last week maybe we mentioned it a little bit about why physical media isn't considered whatever. like lost media. But when you said the thing about like the Mickey Mouse yo-yo, that actually made me think that the way that I feel like physical media should be considered lost is if it has some kind of like significance. I don't just mean, well, prototypes are significant because blah, blah, blah. But I mean like the Mario RPG plushes, especially Gino and Mallow. Well, not even so much Mallow, I guess just Gino. You know, like in regards to video game merchandise, though, you know, that would be the rarest piece of video game merchandise in the existence of
The rarest
video game.
like released merchandise. Because
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
oh, the Geno prototype though, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah, but so I think for something like that, where you can say like this is the rarest item in the scene, and it isn't proved to exist. Let's try and see if it exists. I think that should be okay. Yeah, if you just say like I can't find this, you know, yeah, this Mickey Mouse yo-yo or this like Sonic backpack hanger, like those aren't significant. Like yeah, I guess it's lost, but like that is more insignificant to the point of like not really, you know,
Yeah.
being, because I'm thinking about the Game Boy thing too, the 24-karat Game Boy thing. Like, arguably, if those exist, because I don't think we've ever actually seen a real picture of it. All the ones that I've seen that I thought were real, people have told me were like fake for any number of reasons. And even if we found one with like a case and a certificate or something, people were saying to me in the Lost Media Discord that like those could be fake too. And I'm like, dang, you're right. So I think the only way we're going to actually find one is if Nintendo themselves has one, or if they ever released a list of winners for the contest. But my point is that, you know, if those exist or whatever, and if they're actually out there in the public, like those would be among the rarest and, you know, most coveted trophy piece. I almost want to say like what's the word? Not like pop culture, but like it would be more along the lines of that. It's like a piece of culture at that point because it's so rare and it's so whatever. So for something like that as well, I also think it could be considered lost media and it should count. But only those high-end pieces that really define an entire genre of collecting. Like I'm trying to think about some other kind of like example or something. Like if there was some kind of like SpongeBob statue that there was an advertisement for it in like Nick magazine, and it said like one of 500 or like one of one or one of five or something, limited edition, like gold plated silver, I don't know, ruby sapphire, whatever, like SpongeBob statues, and like no one could find those, and they, you know, people didn't know if those were actually produced. Like that would be like the highest tier item in a SpongeBob collecting scene. So I think that would be, I think that should be considered lost media.
Yeah,
But
I guess it just counts on, or it depends on the status of the item. Like if you have a like Chicken Little McDonald's toy that you can't find, like, oh well, I mean, I guess you just won't be able to find it. But if there's something with historical value, which I guess Gino in a way does have, because he's a character that is from a very popular game. He's partially owned by Nintendo and Squaresoft, right? And it's the only plush of Gino. No one knows if it exists. It has enough like qualities to it that I think it should warrant being looked into.
yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, at least it's cool because like Lost Media Wiki isn't like super tight about what threads stay and what threads don't. Like I've seen like 10 threads for Pokemon Live and none of them were deleted. So it's cool that like they let us at least talk about merchandise even if it's not considered a topic. And I mean, really, what would, I know that if you try to write an article, I think they'd have a problem with that. But like, I guess to some extent, what's an article even really gonna do? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about plushes, and with that said, I think that does it for Lost Media, right?
Probably. We probably will come back to it eventually, knowing like, you know, we'll talk to the chat eventually. But for now, I think that's it.
So since we're talking about plushes, and since I have to just go plug this computer in really quick, one of our other topics was Tomy's Pokemon and Sonic merchandise and some really, really weird shenanigans that went on with that. So I think Pat Mac can give you guys a kind of an introduction and explanation about that while I go plug this in and while we switch topics. So Pat Mac, take it away with all of Tomy's craziness.
Okay, let's start with the lesser of the two issues.
Also, maybe just like explain a little bit, like be like, guys, Tomy makes Sonic figures, just for people who might not know.
Okay, so the company TOMY International, okay. So the company TOMY International, it's an American-based toy manufacturer who currently owns the rights to make Sonic and Pokemon merchandise. We'll talk about the Pokemon stuff later, but right now we'll deal with the Sonic stuff. So this year, well, actually, before they were making Sonic Boom stuff, and they were making stuff for the TV show Sonic Boom, and that was fine, whatever. But then last year they made the 25th anniversary stuff, which had classic Sonic stuff, and this year they're making classic Sonic and modern Sonic stuff. And that's really exciting to fans because, modern Sonic and classic Sonic are the main series Sonic. Like, that's the one that everyone knows. So yeah, TOMY announced that they were going to make modern Sonic stuff. They had previously made classic Sonic stuff, but they're continuing that as well this year. That's called the Collector Series, the Sonic Collector Series toy line for this year. And many fans were like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Wow, TOMY, you're finally doing exactly what we wanted. That's awesome. But the problem is, the stuff isn't actually out yet, and some of it is supposed to be out, and it's long overdue. For example, the modern Sonic and modern Metal Sonic plushes were supposed to be out in February, and they're not out yet. And this month, figures of modern Sonic and Knuckles were supposed to come out. And while we're only like halfway through May, I would be very surprised if they actually come out. And going off of what I'm about to talk about, they probably won't. So I was like, wow, none of this. Well, actually, there's even more stuff. Like, they were going to make variants of Classic Sonic and Classic Tails variant figures, supposed to come out in February, never came out. I don't even know if they're still coming out. Like, they might have been canceled at this point. I don't know. But yeah, like, everything has been pushed back months, and it's horrible. And it really seems that it seems like there is something like bad going on at TOMY for them to like mess up this badly with the release dates of their stuff. So I reached out to the TOMY Facebook page. I was like, okay, what is going on? And I specifically talked about the modern plushes and the modern figures. As it turns out, the modern figures and the modern plushes have been delayed, which we could kind of already tell. The modern figures will now be releasing in June as opposed to May, and the modern plushes will be releasing in July as opposed to February. So that's a bit of a problem. That's kind of it. I mean, it's kind of like, news. But that goes into like how poorly TOMY is running their Sonic toy line. And I don't mean the products themselves, their character choices and everything, that's perfectly fine. But how they're releasing and how they're going around with creating the stuff, that is where the problems come in, because they're not really advertising their stuff. They're not really like putting the word out there. They're not communicating with fans. Like we're completely in the blue. Like, I think that's the term people use, whatever. But we don't know like anything about what's going on. And clearly something is happening at TOMY that is like preventing this stuff from coming out, because it should have been out months ago and it's still not out, especially the plushes, which we already knew of some things that were happening that would delay them. But like July, really? That's like half a year after they were supposed to come out. That's really bad. So like, I don't know. It makes you really wonder, like, what is going on at TOMY that is like causing all of the Sonic stuff to be delayed so much? Like, I don't know. And then another thing that happened with TOMY is that the pictures that they release for their products, they're oftentimes like outdated, or they're not correct. They don't show the final product. Like for their classic Sonic plush, it's supposed to be light blue, but they released images that were a dark blue color for the classic Sonic. So now people will buy it thinking that it's dark blue, and they'll get it and it's light blue. And that's a problem. But the biggest thing is recently, a few days ago, Amazon UK, they released, or they acquired, the classic Tails plush that is coming out. And the picture that they used, that TOMY provided, was a picture of the modern Tails plush. And that's on Amazon UK. Like, you go to Amazon UK, you search Tails plush, you see modern Tails, like a picture of modern Tails. It still says classic Tails, but but the picture is a modern Tails. So people are going to buy that thinking it's modern Tails, and they're going to be really upset when it's classic Tails. Or maybe they won't be. I don't know. But still, that is really bad. Like, how do you mess up that? Like, how does that happen? Also, L Supersonic Q is back, I think.
Yeah, I'm back. I was hearing the end of what you were saying about the Modern Tales and stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, thoughts on how poorly TOMY is being run for their Sonic line right now?
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty like just baffled at the whole everything. Like we back a few streams ago, especially like last year, we would complain about Jack Specific and their World of Nintendo line like every single week or whatever. And like I didn't think it was gonna get like much worse than that. And now here we are, TOMY, with heavily delayed products and just wrong product listings and all kinds of stupid stuff. And it's a mess. Did you talk about the Archie thing?
What do you mean?
Like how Archie's dead, so the comic
Oh,
packs are
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Archie Sonic, if you haven't heard yet, the comic, the like long-running Archie Sonic comic, it's probably dead. We don't know for certain, but it's looking like that. I'm not going to get into it because it's a pretty big topic. But yeah, well, TOMY is making, and Jazzwares did it too, but TOMY is continuing to make comic book packs, which feature 2 Sonic figures and then a Sonic comic from Archie. And they have like Sonic and Knuckles comic packs coming out next month now in June, but then they also have Tails and Metal Sonic comic packs coming out, I don't know, 2019 or something, going off of how much delays have been happening. But Archie being dead is gonna cause a real issue with that, and that's gonna probably cause even more delays, since like if Archie Sonic is dead, Archie won't have the license for Sonic anymore, meaning that they won't be able to reprint their issues, which is what TOMY is using for the comic packs. So TOMY is going to have to scramble and like be like, okay, well, we legally cannot release our comic packs anymore. What do we do? So they're either going to have to like make them into 2 packs or something, or they're going to have to cancel them. And that would be horrible if they have to cancel the Modern Tales and Metal Sonic figures. But that might end up happening because of all the delays that have happened. By the time the Modern Tales and Modern Metal Sonic stuff comes out, it's probably going to be too late, and Archie Sonic is probably going to be officially done. Maybe even long done at that point. So that's up in the air. We don't really know what's going on with that right now. It's really just speculation, but things aren't looking good for the comic packs. And I imagine they probably already had some planned for 2018. So I guess they're going to have to completely rework that. It's a TOMY Sonic. I want to be as supportive to it as I can, but they are not making it easy.
I will say that one of the positives that comes from the Archie dying and like having to rework the comic packs and stuff, for me anyway, is that I was really concerned about the price point of like all their items. The comic packs were going to be at $18 each, and like
$16.99, $16.99, so $17, whatever.
With tax, it's pretty close to 18. But
yeah, okay,
I was not cool with paying that price, especially since a Jax figure is like $10. So the fact that they might be omitting the comic books and stuff, that would mean that it's not going to be a comic book and 2 figures. It's just going to be 2 figures. And Pat Max pointed out before that the Boom stuff is like $10 for 2 figures, right?
Yeah. So because with the comic book packs, you have to make extra packaging space and like box space for the comic book. So that probably costs a lot because the boxes are huge. They're like giant rectangles, and it looks pretty like ridiculous because the figures are so small, but the box is so huge. So if they only have the 2 figures, they'll be able to put them in a small box, and it'll probably only be $10, which is honestly what they should have done from the start. Because I don't know if like, wow, I'm buying these 2 figures to get a comic. Or like, I don't know how much. Do comic packs even entice people to buy things? I'm imagining most people bought the Jazzwares comic packs to get the figures, like not the comic.
Yeah, that's true. Because what were all the cool stuff they had in their comic packs? They had Blaze and
they had Blaze, yeah. Like I bought the Blaze pack. I already had a Sonic figure, a 3-inch Sonic from Jazzwares, but I bought the Sonic and Blaze pack because I wanted Blaze that much. Also, the Jazzwares comic packs were like $13.99, but whatever.
That's actually huge.
Yeah, that's
different. If TOMY did comic packs and they were $13.99, I'd be like, I don't know. That's closer to like $10 in my head, so I wouldn't mind paying that. But like $17 is closer to $20. So like,
yeah,
it's a difference of like, am I going to pay like close to $10 for this, or am I going to pay close to $20 for this? And I would much rather go for the closer to $10. But also, Jazzwares figures were better. Anyway, so
well, maybe that's debatable, but Yeah, so I don't know. I do hope that they I do hope that they make them standard 2 packs because that would just be better for everyone. I think they would sell better. They would be more appealing because hey, they're a small box, they're cheaper. It's just the 2 figures, no clutter. I mean, like maybe parents would be like, "Oh, I don't know if my kid would like a comic." Like, what if your kid can't read? Why would you buy a comic book pack for them? Like there's just a lot of downsides to comic book packs. Then I guess it's cool to have like, oh, whoa, an Archie Sonic comic to go with your toys. But if you're just buying them for the figures, if you're just buying them for one figure, which is in the case of the Sonic Tails and Knuckles comic packs, that it's a bit like much. Like it's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of like the Sonic comics or anything like that anyway. So at this point, especially with like where Tomy's at right now, the comics almost seem like an unnecessary like addition that they just don't even need to.
Especially since they have, and they can't anymore, but they had no interest in making figures of the freedom fighters or anything like that. So like, it's so weird. Like, why did Jazzwares even bother with doing comic book packs? And I guess to some extent, why does Tomy now? Like, is that appealing to people? Like, I don't even know. How many people like comic book packs?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anyone who like we've talked to online that was like, oh man, I was really happy that comic book came with the figures.
Actually,
Like,
I think Mario, when the classic stuff first came out, he was like, yes, the comic book packs are back. Yes. So, okay, maybe he prefers the comic book packs, but that's like it. It'd just be better if they were 2 packs, which I guess now is what's going to happen because they have no other choice unless some other company starts making Sonic comics.
yeah.
Well, actually, one last thing. Doesn't that mean that there are probably prototypes and tests of the box for the Tails and Metal Sonic comic packs? If they get turned into 2 packs, there's only going to be a few tests of them as comic book packs.
Oh,
Where are
oh,
they
you're
going to be?
right.
Where are they going to be? We're going to need to find them.
Oh man, we will. That's man. Every time something gets canceled or reworked, that one prototype becomes so desired.
Yeah. Well, we don't even know if they are gonna. Like maybe they'll just be like, "Hey, we already had this planned. Just let us make them, please." Like maybe they'll just be okay with that. And then next year in 2018, 2024, whenever that stuff comes out because of all the delays, maybe they'll be like, "Okay, let's just do 2 packs, fine."
Yeah, I could imagine like a first release with comic packs, and later on
Ooh,
they
yeah.
change it over.
Yeah. Actually, ooh, that's a good point. Because once Archie dies, they won't be able to re-release the Sonic and Classic Sonic and Classic Knuckles comic packs. Dude, we gotta get them before they get super rare.
Oh my god,
And
you're right.
oh my gosh. Whoa. What the heck? So yeah, this could be interesting. But that probably doesn't do Tomy any favors with like, them already struggling so much to release stuff. They're probably like, oh, come on. We thought this would be a cool idea and it just completely blew everything up.
I'm trying to remember way back when they first started releasing stuff, like what my impressions of the line were. Man, I don't even remember way back when
Like the boom stuff?
No. Well, I mean like the anniversary stuff. Like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to think about when they first like
What,
now we have
like
all this.
October when they were first starting to come out?
Yeah, no, I think I got mine in
Was it?
August. I think I got Eggman and the big Sonic plush
Oh
in
yeah, the
like
plushes came out in like late August, but then the figures didn't come out until October.
hmm. I don't even remember when I got my figures or like anything like that, but I'm pretty sure back
Hmm.
then though I'm like, oh, this this is gonna be great. And then
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, because at this point, like I'm sure I've heard a lot of people be like, it's been so long. Like I don't even care anymore. Like I was so hyped for a modern Metal Sonic plush. Now like whatever. Cause I don't know. I mean I'm still
um
gonna get them.
yeah, I mean you'd get them anytime, any day, anywhere.
Well yeah.
Yeah, but like just kind of like yeah with me like kind of you said like as time passes I just lose interest in them and I mean I was really hyped when we first saw them, and like I remember at Toy Fair, like, and there's a stream on the channel somewhere about this. Like it was like one of the streams in February at New York Toy Fair. Like I don't know if it was like right before I started streaming or if I saw it and then like a week later I talked about it. But they had, I think it was actually like the same night. It was like right before I streamed. We saw pictures of the modern Sonic, modern Tails, modern Metal Sonic, and modern Shadow plushes all in one box from Toy Fair. And I'm pretty sure I was like really excited about that. I'm like, oh, they're coming out this month and like or whatever.
Yeah, because they were supposed to. Well, not Tails and Shadow, but Sonic and Metal Sonic were supposed to come out that month, and then they didn't.
And I was like really excited. I'm like, and I remember in one of the streams too, I was like, guys, I'm gonna start checking Toys R Us at the end of February because they're supposed to be out. And like, yeah, that didn't happen. So now it's like, what the heck? There's so many other things to buy. And
see, okay, in the Facebook message, they also said like, oh, the TOMY catalogs are made 6 months before they get released or something like that. So things can change. I think the way they worded it is like things can change or we may decide to not make certain things. So it's like, okay, all right. Modern Sonic stuff is canceled, guys. But no. So if it's made 6 months in advance, I guess that's fine. But like, would it really be too hard to update it? They must already have the like raw files for it. Surely they can just change things around. And be like, oh, we're going to have Wave 1, which is Classic Sonic and Classic Tails, and then Wave 1.5, which is Modern Sonic and Modern Metal Sonic, and then Wave 2, which is like what it was supposed to be. Like, I don't know. They could have handled this a lot better. And that goes back to just the management. TOMY Sonic management being like all out of whack and stuff like that.
Did you talk about how the Wave 3 or whatever is like borderline canceled or whatever?
Wave...
Or with like, okay, the Big Head Sonic Knuckles stuff. Like we haven't even seen anything about that.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean? Oh, yeah. That's okay. That would be. Yeah, I get. Oh no, that's Wave 3 now because Modern Sonic and Modern Metal Sonic are going to be Wave 2. Okay, yeah, but so I guess I kind of alluded at it. I guess, but the second wave of plushes that were supposed to be out in August, a month after what Sonic and Metal Sonic are supposed to be out. But Wave 3, Wave 2 is Classic Knuckles, another Classic Sonic with like he's laughing, and then a Shadow and Tails plush, and those were set for August. That's not happening. Clearly, I mentioned that to the TOMY person on Facebook messages, and they were like, "Those will most likely be made at a later date." So they don't even have a month yet, guys. They don't have a month. But okay, if on Amazon UK, Modern Tales is there, it's done. They have pictures for it. What's taking so long? And like with Sonic and Metal Sonic, they were at Toy Fair, and they were done. They looked to be done. So July, why is it so long away?
Maybe it just
has to be stuff. Maybe it's like stores are like, hey, we still have Boom stuff.
Actually, that is an issue too, because remember we were saying a lot of stores were clearancing out their Sonic stuff.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. But that brings us to another topic, their site and how poorly run their okay, not poorly run, but how like, you know, their site has all their products on it, or at least most of them. And some of them are in stock, and then some of them aren't. Like for the new emoji Sonic Boom stuff, they have 2 of the 6 in stock. Only 2. Why? And it's not like they're, you know, out of production, out of stock. Actually, they just chose not to list them. And like, they could easily make the site like a central hub for anyone who wants anything in the line. They could go to the site and buy it. And I think that's what they do with Pokemon. So it's weird that they don't do it with Sonic. I guess it makes sense with the 25th anniversary stuff because some of that was exclusive to Toys R Us. But okay, TOMY would be insane if they would make their modern stuff exclusive anywhere, because that stuff should be in as many stores as possible to make sure it sells as well as it can. So I don't know, like what the heck? TOMY, what are we gonna do with you? What are we doing?
Well, we're not doing much with them when you talk about the second part of the TOMY
Not
thing?
yet. Let me make sure I have my info correct on that. 1 second. Gotta stall.
Yeah, so if you guys thought that all the TOMY Sonic stuff was bad, uh, well, we got some even worse news. Once
Yeah, that was just the beginning. Okay. So Tomy has Pokemon, right? For the past few years, since Black and White, I believe, they were releasing Pokemon stuff. And yeah, that's just been a thing that they've been doing, along with Sonic and along with everything else that they have, like John Deere tractors. Yeah, so they've had Pokemon, and they might not have Pokemon anymore. That might have happened. They might have lost Pokemon, guys, because just recently on, let's see, May 5th, 2017, news broke that the Pokemon Company invested in Wicked Cool Toys and announced that Wicked Cool Toys, which is a company, they're going to be the new, starting in like mid 2018, they're going to be the new master like toy producer for Pokemon, which was what Tomy was. So I guess Tomy doesn't have Pokemon anymore. But it's weird because they word it in a way that says Wicked Cool Toys is going to be making Pokemon stuff for the anime and not the games. But like then again, master toy producer or manufacturer, that implies that they're the only people that are going to be making it. So well, actually, they also say that Tomy is going to still be making specific Pokemon stuff. And I imagine that's stuff like the Z Ring that came out for Sun and Moon, stuff like that. So yeah, Tomy Pokemon is dead, maybe. Like the figures and the plushes, they might be done. And that's like a huge problem for Tomy because they don't have anything else besides Pokemon, really. And Sonic. And John Deere tractors.
oh my god,
Like what are like that is a huge issue for them because Pokemon was their big moneymaker. Now they have nothing. Because Sonic isn't selling well. So what are they gonna do? Well, actually, there is an upside to this if you like Sonic. Maybe now that they can't put all of their eggs in one basket with Pokemon, maybe they'll do that with Sonic.
so we could be seeing like better Sonic stuff and like more.
Yeah. Because with Pokemon, I realized juxtaposition between Pokemon and Sonic at Tomy, we have 8, potentially 8, maybe less if they got canceled. 8 plushes in the 8-inch scale coming out this year for Sonic. We had like, or we're gonna have like 23 or 27 or something like that coming out for Pokemon. So like they're putting so much more into Pokemon, which makes sense because admittedly Pokemon is a much larger franchise and much more popular than Sonic, but still. So now that they might not have Pokemon to the extent that they do now, or they used to, maybe they'll do that with Sonic, which is, I guess, exciting. I didn't really buy most of their Pokemon stuff. I got a few things, but I didn't buy a lot of it. So yeah, to have more Sonic stuff come out, that's good. But I'm sure Tomy is taking a huge loss from this, from like not having Pokemon anymore. That's a huge problem for them. So hopefully they figure things out. Hopefully things go well for them. Or maybe they'll go out of business. I don't know. But yeah, what were you gonna say, O Supersonic U?
I still think like yeah, that is a big problem. But I'm trying to think of like everything Tomy related that was Pokemon that I wanted to buy. It was always like so much money again.
Wow. Like, maybe that's just a universal issue with Tomy.
Because I remember they had their and now I know you could argue, well, it was their Master Collectors series. There it was like a black boxed 3-pack of like.
Yeah, that's the Trainer's Choice, right? That's what it was called.
That sounds right. Yeah, and like they were really cool figures. Like like an entire evolution line of like Bulbasaur and like whatever, all the starters and stuff. And like there were a few that I saw that in the store, and I'm like, oh man, like that would be cool to get. I look at the price; it's like $30. Like that's literally what my Toys R Us was charging for, $30. And like, no, like I have a problem paying what $17 for like 2 Sonic figures, and I collect Sonic. I'm not gonna pay $30 for some Pokemon figures that I just walked by and I'm like, oh well, those are cool. I remember one time I saw like a Ho-Oh figure or whatever, and it was really cool. Like they have some really cool figure sets that were Pokemon based from the Trainer's Choice line or whatever, and like it was like a $20 Ho-Oh figure, and it like didn't pose, it didn't do anything. It was just a figure in a black box, and obviously the box looks so nice that I probably wouldn't open it anyway. So I'm paying $30 for like I don't know, like figures that are a couple inches tall that I'm going to put in a box or that are going to stay in the box and I'm not going to do anything with. Like, I
Well,
don't know. Like,
so you're saying that with Pokemon, Tomy was charging a lot for their collector series? Well,
I
look what's
mean,
happening. Look what's happening with Sonic. The plushes for the collector series of Sonic are $15 each. The larger plushes are $25, and the figures are $17. The
that,
same thing's happening, but
yeah,
I guess with Pokemon it was even worse.
but that's the. I mean, I guess maybe you're right that is the thing. Tomy just charges too much for their stuff. I mean, I think that's really unreasonable, especially considering. I mean, this isn't like a hobby shop or like anywhere special. These aren't special figures. It's Toys R Us. I mean, really, it's Toys R Us. Like, you shouldn't have like $20 Sonic figures at Toys R Us. I mean, I remember. I think Toys R Us lowered their price on Jack's figures, right? I'm pretty sure they
Oh,
lowered their
wait, what?
Toys R Us lowered their price on Jack's figures at one point,
Yes,
right?
yes. They were like,
Yeah, see,
I don't know, $12.99. Now they're $9.99.
which I guess isn't a big price difference, but I mean, $10 for a retail figure at a toy store, like okay, that like sure, that's fine, but like $17 for Sonic figures, like that's like
Three
no.
inch, not even 3 inch for the classic figures, like 2.5 inches, $17. And a comic book is only like $3, maybe $4.
Yeah, so you probably are kind of like you said, you're just paying for the packaging and all that kind of stuff that like maybe when they
And
since
the
they're gonna
special giant 3D art of Modern Sonic on the box, you're paying for that.
yeah, it's just there's so many different
Oh,
things.
here's news. Tomy's Facebook and Twitter changed their banner, and now it no longer has Boom Sonic, it has Modern Sonic on it. So that's exciting.
It is good because it shows they don't have a priority
In Boom anymore. And they're probably realizing, hey, wait, because I don't actually know if like people at Tomy know that Sonic Boom isn't the main Sonic. I'm sure they do, but I imagine Sega probably told them like, hey, Sonic Boom is going to be the main Sonic now. Put all of your stuff into Sonic Boom. But then now they probably realize like, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. We should make Modern Sonic stuff. And now that's what they're doing. So if they actually release them, which might not happen, it probably will. And like, how long is the line even going to last if stuff like this keeps up? Like, are they going to be able to continue this if they delay their plushes 6 months?
probably not. There's no way.
Yeah, because if fans hear like next year, like, oh, Classic Amy is coming back, they're gonna finally make it after it got canceled this year. Because yeah, that happened. Classic Amy and Metal Sonic canceled. Oh well, maybe they'll bring them back next year, and then they'll be like, oh, they're coming out in January, guys. Aw, yeah, they're coming out in January, and then they don't come out until like October. People will be very mad, and that has a possibility of happening now.
Man, Tomy really should have taken a cue from Sanai's 25th anniversary Kirby stuff, or am I right?
Oh yeah.
Gotten all that stuff
Because
out.
yeah, not just Sine actually, all of the Kirby 25th anniversary stuff from all the companies came out the day of Kirby's anniversary, maybe even a few days early. Like that's how you do it. And then Tomy over here releasing their plushes in August and releasing their figures in October, and the anniversary was in June. Like okay. And also, we saw delays last year and the year before it, I think. Yeah, of like the Boom Shadow figure, and even the 25th stuff was not canceled, was delayed a few months. But this Modern Sonic and Modern Metal Sonic 6-month delay is the worst we've seen. So if it just keeps getting worse, that'll be a problem.
Yeah, just like plushes, just like like in February, like oh these are coming out in February. But like it takes like oh we didn't say which February. It takes like a whole year to come out. They come out like the February
Yeah.
1 year later. Like just disaster.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say on Tomy because you summed it up pretty well, and I always talk about Tomy on streams and all kinds of stuff. It's like at this point I don't really have anything to say anymore except they need to get their stuff out faster and lower the price on it, which the price lowering, like we said, might happen on the figures at least. But are they ever going to step up production? I mean, who knows?
Maybe.
I hope they do. Huh. So is that it for TOMY?
I guess so. Yeah, so rip TOMY all around, basically. Hopefully they'll find a way to make it through this and do what they're supposed to do. Like, ugh. Maybe they were like, hey, let's release the modern stuff closer to Forces. But no, because Mania is coming out in the summer. So they're releasing the modern stuff in July and June, which is when Mania is going to be coming up. TOMY, oh my gosh. Come on.
Yeah, that's actually planned horribly now that you point out with the game releases and stuff. Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, so the last topic we had, kind of weird coincidence, we were talking about games just then. We were going to talk about E3 predictions, but Pat Mac said he didn't have any, right? You don't really have any?
Yeah.
And we are running pretty close to 9, and Mario's not here, and he might actually have some E3 stuff. So I think we're probably going to save that for maybe next week or so. I will say this, though, just really quick. The only thing I really had to say, and then after this, we'll actually turn to comments after this for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so. And that's actually why we were kind of ignoring you guys, is because for anyone who doesn't know, we go through all the topics and stuff, and then we talk to the chat after. I was just kind of, when I was plugging into my computer, I just saw like the chat was up and I just saw random messages. I was just replying to them. But we take questions at the end of the stream. So we'll do that in a sec since we're not going to talk about E3. But the thing I was going to say about E3 is that I was in GameStop today, and I was just like looking for whatever. And the employee was talking to some customers, and they were like getting in a pretty in-depth discussion. Now, of course, take this with a grain of salt because it's, from a guy. But he said that he was talking to a Nintendo employee or a Nintendo rep at one point, and that the Nintendo rep didn't know a whole lot about E3, but the general idea, and maybe this is obvious to some people, it wasn't really obvious to me, is that, I'm trying to think about exactly how he said it. Something like, Nintendo has a really strong presence in regards to like, I guess, content this year. Like, they have a lot of stuff to announce, like a lot of games to announce. So, I mean, for me, I was worried that we weren't, okay, if that's true, grain of salt, but like, I was worried that Nintendo really wasn't going to have a lot. Like, they were going to have like Fire Emblem on Switch, like maybe Metroid on Switch, like that, and that would be the big thing, and then like 3DS games, and like that would be it. I was worried about that. So if this is true, and Nintendo actually does have like huge amounts of games to talk about, like lots of stuff, which according to the employee from the Nintendo guy I talked to, Nintendo has a lot of stuff, like just a lot of stuff to talk about, then that's really reassuring, and I hope that's true, because I want to see a lot of stuff from them. Like, they need a lot of stuff. We can't just have another E3 with Zelda and Pokemon. Oh my! Last year's E3 was probably one of the worst E3s I've like ever seen. Just because
was last year the one? No, wasn't it 2015 with Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
I'd say that that was probably the worst one. Because I don't think there was a single thing in the 2015 one that got me excited.
I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking
for 2016. I don't know.
I mean, the thing with 2016 that I remember is it was just Zelda and Pokemon. So going into it, I wasn't excited. Going into it, I wasn't excited. At least with 2015, I had hopes that all this crazy stuff was going to happen, and then it didn't. So yeah, 2015 was really bad. But I think the difference is like 2015, I was like, oh, are they going to announce some cool stuff? Federation Force. Well, rip. But then with 2016, it was like, we're going to announce Zelda and Pokemon, and that's it. And that was before they even did it. And then it's like, oh
yeah. Yeah.
No surprises.
Didn't they announce Mario Party Star Rush? Didn't that happen?
Oh, I think there were a couple surprises actually. Yeah, I think Star Rush was one of them, and I think I think there was another like game that wasn't really important, but I think they did announce something else too. It wasn't that like great though, from like what I remember.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can do an. I'm trying to think. There was one year. I think it was maybe 2014. Was it when Star Fox Zero was announced?
Maybe.
I think it was that one.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was 20. There was one year where like Star Fox Zero, like they had some good stuff going on. I think. But Star Fox Zero was really the only game, like really the only big game they have, and we can't have that anymore. We can't have one big game. We need like 4 or 5 like really big games. Like, it just that's what they need to do. Like that, they need to do that. So like, I guess really quick, just throwing some stuff out. I mean, Mario Odyssey already counts. I would say maybe they could get away with Fire Emblem because we really don't know. Well, no, we already know about that though. They need like Metroid. They need Animal Crossing. I'd say a good Star Fox, but that's not going to happen. So I guess Smash Switch could count. Maybe like a Yoshi platformer on Switch. Like a 3D Yoshi platformer would be really cool. We've never got a 3D Yoshi platformer. Like I don't know how that would be different than a Mario one, but like that would be really cool. I'd like another. Okay, I mean I'd like a 3D Kirby game, but I'd take a 2D like Return to Dreamland 2 or something like a main series Kirby game that's not stupid. Whatever the clay one was. What was that one?
Wow. Rainbow Curse.
Yes,
That
that's
wasn't
stupid.
Wow. Okay.
But like it's not like I don't know. I want just like I've always said this. I want like the classic Nintendo games. Like I mean like classic like I don't want these crazy like Mario Party, Deluxe Star Tour, Rush, Super Uber, whatever. Like I don't want that. I don't want Kirby and the ball of clay like random gimmick gyroscope motion sensor.
Well, get excited when the Mario Rabbids crossover gets announced.
I don't even know where to start with that. Okay, wait. Has anything new come from that, or like just what?
It's.
You
I don't know. Oh, did I cut out? Oh,
yeah.
dang. Oh well, it's looking like it's probably real.
But like, is there anything about it? We just know it
No.
exists.
We just know it exists.
Oh, huh. Well, that sounds pretty. See, if it was a Mario Rayman crossover, that'd be sick. But like the Rabbids, like no. Yeah. All right. So I guess that'll probably be like a big announced title. So cross one off of the list of stupid stuff. But yeah, I guess I don't really want to say too much more about E3. We'll probably talk about it next week or sometime, or even I'm sure E3 rumors will pop up at some point, like closer to E3, and then we can talk about it. That like first week of June, I guarantee you, is going to be an entire stream about E3 rumors and games that leaked and all kinds of stuff. So I think for right now, if Pat Matt doesn't have anything else to say, we'll turn to the comments for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So I guess we'll jump into the comments.
All right.
The Foxtrot said, "Hey, Wario's World released the same year as Sunshine. A second Mario platformer spinoff isn't entirely out of the question." I would be open to that, honestly. Yeah, if
actually, Nintendo. I remember reading about this. Nintendo trademarked, like a name for a Bowser spinoff game. That happened. That was a news story that sites posted about.
Oh,
so we might see a Bowser spinoff game.
I would be cool with that. If it's, I'd be cool with it as long as it's not like the gamepad, whatever they call the Switch gamepad. It's a gyroscope, and you can do stupid stuff. Like if it's actually like a well thought out, like cool platformer kind of game or something, or even if it's like Wario World with Bowser, if they change stuff, like I guess I'd even be fine with that, as long as it's not like gimmicky or like as long as it's not like shake the Wii remote to do the thing with like no. So if it's a solid game, I'd be fine with that. I'm excited for that now. I hope they announce that because everyone's been wanting a Bowser spinoff game for a really long time, I think, right? Yeah, I think everyone's been wanting a Bowser game for a really long time. They've kind of always thought about the possibility of what if you were playing as Bowser. So they could do creative things with that. I would be fine with that. That's pretty exciting, actually. Is Pat Match just not here? Okay, guess he's not. Lemon King said, "Hi, LSSQ. How are you doing?" I'm doing pretty okay, Lemon King. This was a pretty good stream in regards to topics and stuff. So I'm glad it was really fluid, and the video content's been going pretty good and everything. So I'm pretty good with that. Pamak is still missing. Soma said, "I've got a," and also, guys, I'm just like looking at whatever comment I catch first. Soma said, "I've got a mystery for you," or Soma Cruz said, "I've got a mystery for you." Yeah, messed that up like 10 times. I've got a mystery video for you. How about the canceled Jurassic Park animated series? I don't know anything about that, but I could look into it. Yeah, I guess I can't really say too much about it because I don't know much about it, but yeah, I can look into it and see what's up with it. If it's interesting enough, I might do a video on it. Pretty much anything that people suggest could be a video. I would just have to look into it and see what the real mystery and stuff is. Because I get suggestions all the time about different topics and stuff, and I never really like to straight up say no to any of them. So there's always a possibility. I would just have to look into it or anything like that. I remember you suggested Castlevania Bloodletting and some Castlevania manga series. I never looked into the manga series, but I did look quite a bit into Bloodletting. And like I said, if Yuri of Wind didn't make a video on it already, I'd probably be all over that. But I would have to watch his video to probably make sure I could give an original spin to it so that it wasn't just a copy of his. But that's still a video that I've really been thinking about. And I wouldn't mind doing it at some point because, as you know, I really like Richter Belmont. So. Sandy Moody said, "L Supersonic Q, when do we get a new vid on the updated collection?" Probably never. I don't think I'm going to do any more collection videos and stuff. Pretty much for the fact that, especially last year, we took. Oh, okay, Pat Mac's back. Yeah. Especially since last year, we talked about collectibles so much and we criticized so many people, which I don't. For the record, I don't necessarily regret. I still uphold my views on.
Well, it was mostly you.
Okay, fine, whatever. Well, I said I still uphold my opinions on what I said. But in that regard, I don't necessarily care to show what I buy, where I buy it from, because I don't need people like giving me crap about that. Like, oh well, like why didn't you buy it from here? Like, or like, oh, you bought that plush, like, so like the collectible community is still kind of upside down for me personally that I don't care to show what I bought and where I bought it from and what I have and anything like that anymore. So, I mean, if I get something cool, I could post it on Twitter, be like, hey guys, check it out. Like whatever. But I don't really plan on showing a whole, hey guys, look at my cool stuff collection anymore. Cause it's just, plus my channel is not really geared towards that anymore anyway. It's, I don't really do collectible stuff anymore. It's mostly just lost media, and I'm trying to get back into the art. So, yeah, probably no real collection updates anymore. And even just with what I said, I'm going to get people saying, "Oh, you're not going to show us what you bought because you bought something from Japan. You're a hypocrite." Like I'm going to get crap probably just for saying that. So I just don't like talking about collectibles anymore to any extent in public. So sorry about that, Sandy. Pat Mac, if you have any comments you want to comment on, you can just like pick them out.
Oh well. Lil Red says, at Pat Mac, what are your thoughts on the 5-inch Sine Shy Guy plush? It's one of my favorites. I don't have it, but it looks pretty nice, I guess. I don't really have like real thoughts on it though. What are your thoughts on the 5-inch Sine Shy Guy plush, L Supersonic Q?
It's pretty cool because it isn't like the first Shy Guy plush.
Was it? Maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, Sentai plushes look pretty good. I'm just not super into them because they're a little too generic for me. But it's
yeah. All right.
Neko got swag at El Supersonic Q. Will you look into the lost Roblox client?
What?
I saw a thread on that on Lost Media Wiki, and I never clicked it because Roblox was in the name, and I really do not care for Roblox at all. So I guess that answers your question. Sorry. Yeah, just not into like Roblox at all.
Dang. Oh wow. Sandy Moody says, Matt Pack. Nice one. What's the next vid? It's gonna be Sine Sonic. It's gonna be like 5 days long. It's gonna be a 24-hour video about Sine Sonic. Get hyped.
SDM64 said, do any of you miss the old Boomerang channel with all the old cartoons?
Well, Boomerang is still around. They just don't play as many old cartoons anymore. And I never, did I don't think I even had Boomerang ever. But yeah, the idea of it was cool. So I guess I do miss it being a thing, but I don't really have any like experience with it. But it would be cool to have a channel that just shows like 90s and early 2000s shows.
Yeah, I never watched Boomerang. I don't really have any connection to it, so I don't really
Like,
I don't really care
could
that
we
much.
we could have a because you know the Splat is a thing. That's a block that shows 90s Nickelodeon shows, but that's only like late at night, right? So they could make a Nickelodeon could make a third channel that's just like older shows, or they could just air them on the main channel. But I don't know if Nickelodeon wants to what they'd see as like wasting time with airing Kappa Mikey.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that
I,
could happen if we had like a 2000s show block Kappa Mikey it could air.
I don't think it could actually.
Oh well,
Because remember, Hitman Films has it now.
yeah. Oh, that's too bad.
Unless they like license it back out to Nicktoons, which would be sick. Because Kevin Mikey,
Yeah, but they're not going to be like, hey, let's go through the legal work of getting Kappa Mikey back on the air. They're not going to do that.
unfortunately not, unless somehow like Andrew Keiko or someone was able to spiritually succeed it, and then it got super popular, and people were like, "We want to watch the original," and then the original doesn't exist anywhere online. So then Handmade Films is like, "Oh, maybe we should give this back out to Nickelodeon." Then Nickelodeon puts it on TV. Then they make an action figure line.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely.
Then the movie is made, and then there you go. Wolfpack5 was saying, talk about the whereabouts of the Me and My Friends original suits.
That's a good. I actually brought this up. So what if someone was like, they found the person who designed the suits, which I guess you could find, and they were like, "Hey, where are they?" And then they were like, "Oh, we have it in our closet. Here, check the attached photo to this email to see the pictures of the Me and My Friends costumes." And then the picture, it's like a really like dirty, dusty closet with no lights, and in the corner of the image, you just see like Pablo's face. What if that happened?
Then it would pretty much give everyone who said, "Man, I thought this was a creepypasta," a validation that it that it is more like a creepypasta. The thing with that though, someone like said, or someone commented that like, and I mean I could look into it, but
Wait a minute. Couldn't we? Well, there's no way you would be able to find this, but theoretically, we could contact the people who were in the costumes. Couldn't we?
in theory, yeah.
But how the heck? No one has credit on their like IMDb of playing Tyrone in Me and My Friends.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the person who played Tasha in Me and My Friends. That is me. Wait,
Yeah.
that probably didn't happen. That probably doesn't.
I mean,
exist. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking maybe. Well, you could contact the studio. They might know something about it, obviously. But I got a comment that was like, a lot of times, and this makes sense, because when we talk about prototypes and how prototype figures and stuff get like melted down and reused, someone commented that a lot of times, and I don't know if this is true because I don't know about whatever the costume business, but when they're done using costumes and suits and stuff, they destroy them and reuse the materials. So, I mean, just given that logic, there's a chance that they just don't exist and there's not really a mystery. But I mean, technically, I guess you could contact, or I could contact the studio that made them or something. Yeah, but I mean, if we can't even find the actual pilot, I don't think we're going to be able to find the costumes, which is like I mean, that'd be an even harder thing to find. But I guess anything's possible.
Maybe it'll show up on eBay one day. Like it'll just be like original costume, Me and My Friends, Uniqua. Bidding 0.99 bidding, free shipping. Imagine.
I mean,
Like how much do costumes even go for?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I honestly have no idea. Really, I was gonna say though, I remember seeing like Chuck E. Cheese costumes and stuff go for like $1,000 or so. Well, I don't know. They list for $1,000. I don't know if they sell for 1,000, but like, I guess if you consider,
Well, actually, since Backyardigans has such a deep-rooted like underground fan base, maybe it would go for like $1 billion.
yeah, maybe I haven't really thought that hard about it, but I mean, maybe if the video gets popular enough, I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, maybe someone who has the costumes or who has a picture of them or something like could come forward, but
More shots of the like set probably exist. And think about it, because I always think about that. Yeah, I always think about this with like prototypes and stuff. People take pictures of their work. It's not like, for example, Jazzwares and their classic Supersonic plush. It's not like they made that and then just didn't document it. Even if the plush is destroyed by now, there's got to be a picture of it somewhere, saved to some hard drive, as possibly the designers of the plushes. But I don't know about that. I wouldn't know a thing about that. Nope. But yeah, like someone must have a picture of it, and that probably goes for the costumes. Like someone probably was like, okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this and then send it to my boss or whatever. Say like, hey, I finished the costume. Here it is.
yeah, when you think about it like that, I mean, pictures must exist for every single thing that like we don't have pictures for. Like the first thing that came to my head is the Mario Sunshine Joyride Studios prototype figure. So you guys know that Joyride Studios made a Mario Sunshine figure, and Mario's pretty small. He's in a weird shape, a weird position or whatever. A really long time ago, like late 2000s, I was looking for Joyride figures or something, and I found a picture of a different looking Mario Sunshine Joyride figure. He was standing much taller. He had joints at the elbows, and his face sculpt looked totally different. And I think it was in either a toy magazine scan or a website talking about the figures or something. I've never, like, I saw the picture. I think I have it saved somewhere. It might be on like a CD that I put a bunch of images on. I don't know where those CDs are, so but I might have it. My point being is I can't find it anymore, like online and stuff. And like, you know, that picture that was taken, even though, I doubt Joyride really ever intended for people to see their prototypes, that picture exists. It was out there, a different version Mario Sunshine figure that was really probably never supposed to be, really seen, because I don't know if it was a magazine or whatever. It was photographed and there was a picture floating around and anyone could look at it. So like, yeah, that must count for like everything, I guess.
Yeah, like the Toy Island Bendy of Gamma. Like maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we do have that one picture of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Maybe there's a factory image or something.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Furbyman, this caught my eye, said, "Hey guys, can you talk about the Mario RPG Mallow plush? Personally, I think it's a very well done custom, especially because in both of the listings with the Mallow in it, especially because in both of the listings with Mallow in it have some of the same plushes." Yeah, that's. I've always felt personally that the custom theory was one of the least strongest theories that there was, just because it's so well done, and I don't think like, why would someone do a custom of Mallow? Like, I can't imagine someone like okay, the set's Mario, Yoshi, and Boshi. Am I missing Mario, Yoshi, Boshi?
Yeah, Mushroom Star.
Okay, yeah, Mushroom and Star. I can't imagine someone being like, "Man, want to know what this set is missing? Mallow." And then like someone in Japan in like the early 2000s making a Mallow custom to go with that set. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Plus, I remember Nightram from VGMM said that at the time that he first saw Mallow, which was the early 2000s, customs weren't very popular. So all things considered, a custom was a very strong theory on it.
Yeah. And also, if this person made a custom of Mallow, why wouldn't they make a custom of Geno?
Yeah, you'd think maybe like more, I guess, like more work from them would have been, I guess
wouldn't they? Well, I guess maybe it's not that popular of a topic, but wouldn't the customizer have come forward by now?
Actually, I think it kind of was a popular topic, because I remember back when, I think it may have been May of last year, when the second Mallow showed up. I remember NightRim saying that it was a pretty big story in Japan. I don't know where he read that from or how he knew that, but he said that in Japan it like caught like attention, that like there was an auction that was $2,000 or whatever. And so yeah, you'd think that like, you know, someone would have like, you know, come forward from that or something. It is really weird though that you think about it, like even something like Mario 64, or even like the Sega Sonic set from, you know, way back in the early 90s. So many of those are made and they're so well available and documented. And then Mario RPG is just so scarce. Like they made like 2 of every plush and like that's it. And it's like, it's really weird that like that one set is so obscure that like Mallow only showed up twice. Like, and you think about the most obscure like plush sets, like Knights and maybe like the Space Channel 5 one or whatever that one is. Like, I don't know if it's all Space Channel 5. I don't think it is, but like those 2 sets, like the Space Channel 5 one has a set sheet, and we've seen enough of the Knights ones to know that's like the whole set. So like, and I think there's a set sheet of the Knights one, right?
Yeah, or at least there's a picture. I think there's actually a picture of the plushes in game. I remember seeing that somewhere. I might be wrong about that. Like I think there's a gallery. Maybe it's in the HD re-release, but you can see the you can see the plushes in game.
Yeah. So that's I mean, even like those super obscure sets are known about, and just Mario RPG for some reason. Like, man, wouldn't it have been you know how I'm just thinking about this. You know how in games and stuff like but like a few months ago, someone finally found out in Wind Waker that you could take a Deku Tree water and dump it on that like moth boss and kill it in one hit, and that was like a hidden secret for like literally since the game had come out. What if there was a secret still hidden in Mario RPG of a set sheet of all the Mario RPG plushes? You just had to unlock it by doing it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, definitely. But wasn't there like really secret stuff in Mario RPG? Like there's that casino, right?
What?
I think it's a casino. There's like this really hidden area. Not the secret boss. There's like something even more hidden about that, and you can play like mini games. Maybe I made that up. I don't know. I think that exists.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Because, yeah, I have not played Mario RPG. Actually, I did play Mario RPG, and I hated it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just not into RPGs, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Great Guys Casino, as Sandy Moody said in the chat. That's what it was called. Yeah.
I think we'll take comments for like 5 more minutes, and then at 9:20 we will call it a day.
All right.
So, and Mario was saying, "Can I have a link to the weird-looking Mario Sunshine figure?" Well, no, it's lost. That's what I was saying. Is that I remember seeing it a really long time ago, but I can't find the picture. I can't find the link. I have no idea what happened to it. I might have a picture saved, but if I do, I can't find where
you have a lot of lost media potentially saved, don't you?
Like what?
Didn't you? Like Captain Carlos. Didn't you say that you had like a recording maybe of it?
Oh yeah, I have a DVD of that. It was a sampler, I think, that came in like Cheerios or something.
Like you have uber lost, hyper rare, insanely valuable, never before seen, banned Captain Carlos footage. I made that hashtag for me and my friends. We got to get a hashtag for Captain Carlos.
I don't know. That's something I don't think I could get behind.
Can you make the mystery of Captain Carlos? Chat, if you want El Supersonic Q to make the mystery of Captain Carlos, press 1. Say 1 in the chat.
I mean, a lot of people have requested, like, ever since me and my friends, people were saying Thomas the Tank Engine, and I know there were like 2 or 3 other like kids shows. So I mean, honestly, a lost media run of kids stuff could happen. I just don't really really
judging off of the chat. It seems like Captain Carlos would be a mega hit.
See, Sonic Gamer would find the friends. Now he knows what's up.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe Captain Carlos will happen at some point. along with Thomas and all
Yes.
the other stuff. But I don't really care about Captain
Dude,
Carlos.
the people want Captain Carlos. There's not even any mystery to it. It's just that no one cared and no one recorded it. So now there's a bunch of lost episodes.
Yeah.
You could do a the mystery of Timo Supremo.
What's that?
It's a show that maybe. Wait, let me look it up. Timo Supremo. Let's see. It was a Toon Disney or ABC show. It was about superheroes, and like every single episode is lost because no one watched it, so no one cared about it, and no one recorded Timo Supremo.
Wow.
I think there might be a few episodes that have been found, but there's the theme song. It's on Disney.com. Wow. Okay. It has a 3.9 out of 10 on IMDb. All right,
That's really low.
The mystery of Timo Supremo. Dude, the people want Captain Carlos.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
so
it'll happen
funny though.
at some point. But like, maybe like when I get tired of like Cartoon Network stuff, like I could do like kids stuff. But like, I don't know. I think I have too many other important videos to do. A Captain Carlos.
Wow. You're saying Captain Carlos isn't important. That's insanely controversial, El Supersonic Q.
Wow. If you think so. I mean, I don't think so because
the chat agrees. Guys, El Supersonic Q's next video, the reason why he's being like, I don't know, I don't really want to make it, is because his next video is the mystery of Captain Carlos, and he's trying to keep it a secret.
Oh my god! Don't even say that, because then when the video comes out this week and it's not Captain Carlos, people are gonna like thumb it down. Oh my gosh,
dude, you're already promised Captain Carlos.
Yeah, I know I didn't. Oh, if anything, the videos I teased last week like aren't even going to come out for like, I don't know, like a month or something. So like, if anything, people should be getting mad at that, not the fact that I aren't going to do Captain Carlos and never promised it.
Wow.
Man, what a way to end this stream. We have like a minute left, and this is what we're going to end on, Captain Carlos.
Well, yeah, because like, well, you know, Captain Carlos is actually, it's the pinnacle of like Western animation. So what? Do you have a better way to end the stream?
I mean, I guess not. Just wow.
Okay, the thumbnail for this stream is going to be a picture of Captain Carlos.
Oh my god, no! Oh man,
it's going to happen.
I guess I can't argue with that. Wow. Did Pat Mac die? Was the laughter too much?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, because yeah.
The only way to resurrect me would be to make a video on Captain Carlos.
Oh my god. Well, I guess you're not gonna get resurrected because that video's not happening.
No, dang. That's too bad.
All right, I'm gonna shoot through some stuff really fast. Ed Mario said bye. Well, thanks for stopping by, Ed Mario. Someone earlier said do a mystery of Flapjack Pilot. I contacted the creator once about it, and he said that like it exists, and like I assume he has it, but he said it was horrible, so I expect to never get it. Wolfpack5 said I want to see a Lost Rugrats video. Someone commented one time about Lost Rugrats stuff. I would have to look into exactly what it is, but like what would be lost about it or whatever. But I mean, maybe, because that's kind of like a popular Nicktoon. Sonic Gamers, Sonic Gamers said L Supersonic Q did not notice me. Yeah, I think you were saying stuff about Reese Cyrus versus Toy Island. I was reading that in my head. And with that said, Pat Mac's just laughing over here about Captain Carlos.
We don't have to end it yet. I think there's probably a few more questions we could go through.
Well, everyone's just memeing Captain Carlos now because you mentioned it.
Well, honestly, is that a problem? Is that a bad thing?
I mean, I guess not, but okay, before I forget, I guess okay, we'll go till 9:30. We will go till 9:30, 10 more minutes, but then that is it. Before I forget to mention this, because I was supposed to mention it at the very beginning of the stream, and Pat Mac didn't remind me. If you guys enjoyed this,
this is very important. Everybody, listen up.
If you guys enjoy the stream and want to support the channel and stuff, I have a Patreon. You can find the link maybe I'll link it in this after I go through all the. Well, this is like a 2 hour 30-minute mark. Is anybody gonna listen to this after the fact for 2 hours 30 minutes? Maybe I won't link it in here, but
hopefully they
whatever.
do, because then they can hear about Captain Carlos.
It's on my channel banner or whatever. Yeah, if you go to my channel, there's like my blog, my Twitter, there's my Patreon. If you guys enjoy the stream, or want to just support me, you guys can do that through Patreon. I almost want to say if I get like a certain amount of money, I will do a Captain Carlos video. If I can hit my $25 goal.
Ooh, this is good.
Like,
this is good. Okay,
if I can
no,
hit
set it really high. Like if you hit like
$100,
$2 billion,
$200.
Yeah.
All right.
If we can make it, think long and hard about this.
Oh, are you talking about me?
What would Captain Carlos be worth to you?
Huh. I'll do it for $150. If I can get $150, I will stop all production on all my other videos and get a Captain Carlos video out like that for that week's mystery. If I can hit $150, that will happen.
Oh my gosh!
If you
so okay, guys. If El Supersonic Q's monthly Patreon like money, whatever, like donations, if it hits $150, we will get the mystery of Captain Carlos.
Okay, a few things. One, generally speaking, like serious, like if you guys want to contribute, that would be great. Whatever you can contribute, like that'd be really cool. 2, the monthly goal is like 25. So like if I can hit the monthly goal, like that'd be really cool. 3, if I get 150 out of the 25 that I'm asking for, I will do a Captain Carlos video.
Can't you put like goals and like stretch marks or stretch goals on Patreon? Can't you set them? So can't you set $150 as a goal and say I will make a Captain Carlos video?
I could, yeah. Okay, I guess I could update it. Yeah. But the fourth thing I was going to say is that if I actually do hit the 150, which will not happen,
someone donate like $100 a month.
If that happens, like this video won't be like a meme video. Like I will legitimately research the topic.
Yeah, you'll like, find. He'll actually.
I'll find Captain Carlos, you guys.
He'll meet him in person, dude. Get Captain Carlos on the stream. Dude, he can be a guest.
What if I found like the voice actor for Captain Carlos and asked him to come on?
God. Dude, please. We gotta find who the voice. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. Who is the voice actor of Captain? Do you think anyone's like credited as the voice actor of Captain Carlos? I don't know if anyone like wants to be proud of that or wants that on their resume. All right, who was the voice actor of Captain Carlos?
Well, he does that. So that was the Patreon thing. The other two things I wanted to say, or the other thing I wanted to say was, once again, there will be another stream next week, 7 p.m. You know, same time, same everything. These are weekly streams for anyone who doesn't know. And I was going to say a third thing, but I just forget what it was after all this Captain Carlos.
Wait, the first thing that pops up with Captain Carlos is a few videos, and then the first actual link is Adventures in Nutrients with Captain Carlos, Lost Playhouse Disney show on the Lost Media Wiki archive.
Wow.
Oh my god, maybe the voice actor isn't known. Dude, you gotta find him. You can interview him.
There has to be a credited voice actor.
Okay, let me see if there's a Wikipedia page for Captain Carlos. Is this gonna be a stream highlight? Captain Carlos. Okay, wait. Let me.
I mean, sure. I can put it in the timestamps. Mega Turtle was saying, "Would you be interested in talking about lost movies?" Yeah, that's something I would be like opposed to. It would just have to be a topic that I would. Oh well, I talked about the Real Monsters movie. I know that's probably not exactly what you're talking about, but I mean, it would. Yeah, lost movies would be a topic I could see myself like doing. Yeah.
Well, this is pretty disgraceful. Captain Carlos doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
Oh wow, that's surprising actually.
Dang. Oh. Like maybe the mystery. We could make two mystery of videos. The mystery of Captain Carlos's voice actor, and then the actual mystery of.
Or we'd have a trilogy. Like we could just think of some third video.
A trilogy of Captain Carlos videos. Yes. What would the third one be though? There's got to be like Captain Carlos the movie, or something.
There may have been a spin-off actually.
Whoa.
Like later on they made a spin-off.
How could you even? Okay, I get that the Captain Carlos like series is very diverse, like hard hitting. It's got a lot of lore to it, but like, what would they do for a spin-off? Why would you even want to do that? Why would you want to like deface the original brand of the show of Captain Carlos? Like honestly, that's a crime to do that if that actually happened.
I thought it did. Maybe it didn't though.
Well, that must be like super lost media then.
I've never really looked into it honestly. So,
well, now you have to. Have you checked your Patreon? Have you gotten any donations?
No, I haven't checked. I probably got nothing. No one's gonna donate for Captain Carlos.
Oh, you. Wow, that's a bold statement, El Supersonic Q.
I mean,
honestly, Captain Carlos himself would donate for Captain Carlos.
I saw a couple questions. Hold up. Sonic Gamer was saying El Supersonic Q, Resaurus Sonic or Toy Island Sonic? I gotta say Resaurus Sonic.
Yeah, definitely Resaurus Sonic.
Definitely.
Toy Island's cool, but it honestly doesn't really look that good. I like how I do like how it looks because it's like unique and stuff. But technically speaking, it doesn't really look like what Sonic should look like in terms of Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
He's too like I don't know, his proportions are a bit weird. And the articulations, it's like a posed like mini like figurine, basically.
Wait, are you talking about Resaurus or
no, Toy Island? Because Resaurus you can like do anything with him, but with Toy Island, he's like, pointing. He's like in the stance that he is when he's standing in Sonic Adventure, which actually that's pretty cool. But like it's not really a good toy. You can make his legs go like sideways and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think Toy Island would make Captain Carlos figures?
Oh my god, I knew you were gonna say that.
But would they?
I'm sure some company ever make figures?
No.
Like, Fisher Price or something? No.
Oh, no way. Captain Carlos wasn't even a show. It was like shorts in between like
yeah, but I mean I could imagine someone would have done that. Big Einstein / Little Einstein video said the Lost Little Einstein's pilot. I think I've gotten more than one request for that. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I would do kid stuff. I guess. Thomas, Einstein's. There was a third. I think really requested.
Wasn't the third really requested one Captain Carlos?
I was gonna say that was the fourth, and then I know there was a third one. So,
dude, there's a Captain Carlos Flash game. There's a game.
Is it lost?
No, it's. I think it. I haven't actually, loaded it up, but it's called Captain Carlos in Snack Power. Can we get a speed run of that? Can that be an awesome game done quick?
I think this is.
Ooh. Wait. Lil Red says Wonder Pets. You got to do the
that's
Wonder Pets pilot.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was Wonder Pets,
okay,
Thomas, Einstein, and then Carlos, I guess. Oh, and Dora the Explorer pilot. Yeah, that was another thing I got a lot of comments for.
Oh, yeah. I know. There's like an animation test, right? And Boots looks super different.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, I can look into it.
I remember that.
Okay, I think we're gonna end on this because it's 9:30. Lane actually asked a really good question, or a sensible question. It had nothing to do with Captain Carlos. It's all that's been memed. Oh my! Why is it a meme now? Oh my goodness. Okay, so Lane asked like a legit question. How did you get your names El Supersonic Q and Radiant Lord Firefly? So the El Supersonic Q story is I used to go to like Laser Quest a lot, back in like the mid 2000s, and I could never come in first. And like I had random, you have a code name when you go to Laser Quest, and I could never come in first with my random like Metroid 64, Mega Mario, like random code names. So one day I'm just like Supersonic. That was my code name. And the day I used Supersonic was the first time I came in first at Laser Quest. And ever since then, I guess this has nothing to do with it. Ever since then, I've come in first like every single time, or most like 90% of the time when I've gone to Laser Quest. But whatever. The thing that has to do with YouTube is that when I was coming to decide on a YouTube name, I thought of the Supersonic Laser Quest code name I thought that was really cool. But I didn't just want to be supersonic because that's really generic. So LQ is how they abbreviate Laser Quest. And I'm like, oh man, LQ supersonic LQ, but I split the letters up, L supersonic Q. So there you go. Laser. It's laser supersonic quest. And then Radiant Lloyd Firefly is actually maybe less interesting. Cartoon Network's website, they used to have forums on their website. And one day I just joined them for some reason. Probably because I was so disgusted with the channel and I wanted to rally people to bring Toonami back. And hey, it happened. But the way their username system was set up, it was really stupid. Like, I thought you could pick your own name. But when you picked your own name, that was just to log in. Your actual username was different. So I wanted my name to be Radiant Fire for some reason. I don't know why. I had L Supersonic Q already as like a name, but I don't know what. I didn't want to be that on Cartoon Network. So I wanted to be Radiant Fire or whatever. But like, that was just my login name. So when it came time to pick a name, you had 3 columns of like words. Like the first column was like, what, like I guess like an adjective. The second column was like a name, and then the third column was like an object. So I picked Radiant, and then I tried to find like fire or something, but like there wasn't any fire. And then I don't know why I picked Lloyd. I honestly have no idea why I picked that. And then Firefly, because I guess that's kind of like fire. It had fire in the name. So yeah, that's kind of how that came together, I guess. Radiant and Firefly came from Radiant Fire, but I don't know where Lloyd came from. Just, I guess, random. But I think with that said, we're going to end it because it's 9:30. So recap, guys. I have a Patreon. It'd be great if you donated. If I hit $150, which won't happen, I'll do a legit Captain Carlos video. Hashtag find the friends on Twitter. Yeah, hashtag that to Nickelodeon and stuff for me and my friends pilot. Stream next week, as always, same time, same stuff. 3 new videos this week. And I think with that said, thanks to Pat for joining me this week. And I think that's it. So until I see you guys next week, I guess. Thanks for watching as always, and until the next video, Finn.